Big week. Big news. Many
I gotta
things.
move my fucking camera. I'm too tall.
You're currently too tall. Yeah.
Oh, that's too much now. Oh no.
You don't want to give off the wrong impression.
I don't. That would be a lie.
Don't lie.
There we go.
All right.
Oh no. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't reach you, buddy.
Distance.
I'm back home.
There you are.
Tell you what, man, getting back in your own setup after using literally anyone else's setup ever is just like, get your fucking ass into it.
Well, it's either like get your ass back in and go, damn, it's good to be back in my own shit, or it's damn, I need to do something about this garbage, right?
Yeah.
It's one or the other. You know, I remember distinctly feeling the latter after Game Grumps, right?
Oh,
just getting back to Canada and being like, wow, look at this garbage I call a setup. You know?
We gotta get some fucking mixers and cameras and shit in here.
But yeah. Are you chomping at the bit?
I kind of am. I showed up. I did the podcast as normal, air quotes, and then we did the Devil May Cry video. But I'm at that point in my adulthood in which after like 5 days away from my fucking office setup, I'm like, I gotta fucking do something of value for the family, or else I'm just a useless fat piece of shit.
Gotta play some fucking garbage phone games.
Hell yeah.
And do some pulls.
Oh man, I got a tweet today from friend of the show mom that just fucking blasted my fucking hair back about Nikkei. What the fuck was it? It's like apparently the new $60 Nikkei skin removes the character talking in a mentally age-regressed, quote, I pissed my pants ugu, end quote, voice. And I'm now enticed to get it just because of that. And
Yeah. Right.
What the fuck?
Like, never mind valuable, like, real IRL quality time and establishing bonds. It's time to get back to this shit.
Oh, man.
This is what you need to be reporting on. Boy. Look, I logged in and I got my robot, so
did I miss that? I haven't done that.
I logged in, I got my robot. First I logged in and then I sat there and watched the 3 gig download take its time. As the music video just loops. Boy, yeah, the first time that thing loads in, you're like, oh wow, look at this budget anime, it's going. And then like the 4th time you've got to update and watch this. We fight, survive,
Hell yeah, man.
Just AMV going on my phone. I'm like,
gives you time to edge out to your goon before you start playing.
Can I maybe like minimize this while it downloads in the back? Nope, you got to keep it active, and it's got to be the loudest song, the loudest thing on your phone ever.
I fucking spent last week, I did that phone game stream I talked about, but one of the things I did not talk about was how weirdly long it took me to install 4 phone games on my PC. It was a strangely long process. None of them will tolerate being downloaded at the same time as any of the other ones. Like, they all do that thing where you start downloading one and you're like, oh, I'm going to start a second download. And then they both just crash down to nothing and go, how could you download a different phone game than me?
And is this BlueStacks or is this like with official clients?
No, this is the official fucking PC launchers.
Weird.
And like some of them only will download if the fucking thing is maximized, and some download faster on Wi-Fi than on wired connections. I forget which one it was. I think it was Punishing Gray Raven. It was faster to download it on my phone over Wi-Fi, even like megabyte per second, than it was to download it over wired. I don't know what kind of nonsense that is.
It's so weird because I'm like, this experience of an ongoing download installation process that's just like perpetually stretching out. The last time I experienced that was installing I think like Black Desert, like MMO installations, are the only times I've experienced that. Like it feels like that stuff has gone by the wayside,
Yeah, meanwhile, hey, I want to download a game on Steam, and you're like, I didn't know my internet connection could go that fucking fast.
It's crazy.
What? Oh, wow.
There's these standout moments of like really long loading stairs. Obviously, MGS4 is a like fucking flag in the timeline of like that is the most insane loading process I've ever experienced. But
listen, we've brought the worst feature of PC games to you now, here
on your phone live.
Start smoking, I guess.
And here's the thing too. Like, I thought I was actually done the onboarding process, and it turns out I wasn't. Like, they let you go a couple more missions, feeling kind of normal, but they still haven't introduced everything to you. So I was like, oh, I still haven't unlocked all the features, and I can't do everything yet. And it's like, yeah, because you're still actually in the onboarding thing. You gotta get introduced to your little camp where you're gonna hang out with all your Nikkeis.
Joke's on you. You're gonna be onboarded until that game dies.
You gotta have, this is where you spend time giving them gifts and talking and chilling and stuff. And I was like, oh,
I
shit.
didn't know that was even fucking in that game.
It comes later. You got to keep playing a bit more. Yeah. So the outpost is the tutorial after you've gotten a little more comfortable with the regular shooting. But regardless, hey, I got the robot, and you know what?
What?
When you aim to shoot with it, its entire body blocks the entire bottom half of the fucking screen.
I saw people saying that the robot sucks because it actually blocks your whole screen.
You cannot see anything on the front line. You can only see mid and sky like
That's
ranged
really
shit.
funny.
I mean, the life bars are still there, so you can target the life bars.
But still.
It's quite goofy that they made it like have an actual nerf to its ability, which is visibility goes horribly down. But it's cool to be shooting a robot around, I guess, know?
Well, they're all robots, Wooly.
Yeah, but this one is the robot inside the robot, and the little girl pops out and she hits her head and goes, oh no. And I'm like, it's like
darn.
It's like Kum Hae Hyun, from Exerd.
Guilty Gear, okay.
Yeah. The big old spiky beard guy. And then it opens up.
That was a cool character.
She was really cool. Like, once it cuts to the inside and you're seeing like the Iron Man cockpit view, it was actually pretty well done, I gotta say. And then in the story mode, that big hug that she gives Johnny is pretty cool too. But it's I got that taken care of. And I guess let's just quickly go through weeks because there's a lot of shit going on.
All right. Where are we starting? You starting with you, Wooly?
Yeah, I'll start with me because mine was fairly simple and quick.
Okay.
So Devil May Cry 3, that took place after.
I did not think that we were gonna go in a fucking split screen for those fucking boss fights.
That's the big takeaway.
I was so impressed.
That's the big takeaway is, in addition to the special edition on Switch introducing full weapon switching wheel for both guns and for swords, you have, and then quick weapons, even quicker weapon switching, which is hold the wheel and then press the stick in the direction for instantly going to the weapon you want. You also now get co-op mode, and in co-op mode, when you get to boss fights, it switches to split screen so that the camera doesn't completely fuck you over. Because for some bosses, right, like imagine fighting
some bosses, the camera's really low, kind of behind the back sometimes. Like Beowulf is what I'm thinking of right now.
Yeah, so Beowulf, right? Or just even fucking the centipede, like Gigapede. Your like its camera is cutting back and forth to wherever the hole it's coming out of is, so that would you can't always have both players there. So it makes perfect sense, and it just works. And it's like, this is really the definitive edition of DMC3, like no questions asked.
It makes me like, I was like, man, we really, Devil May Cry 5 was so excellent. I think we can let Devil May Cry rest for a little while. No, not anymore. No. Devil May Cry 6 now. Incorporate
all the lessons learned
shit into it.
Functional co-op.
I want the Resident Evil 5 of Devil May Cry.
The online test was done with the like cameo system in 5, you know. Oh, look, there's someone else running over there. Sure. And then we can even have a stage where they play together. And then all the modders, Hitchhiker and such, like took that to the next level of like, they're like, here you go with the crazy modded version. But officially now, yeah, this thing just works on the same screen. Fighting for the camera's not that bad, really. You give 2 different colored lock-ons, you know. And yeah, I feel
every part of it was considered and careful and detailed and worked.
Yeah, so in as much as, you know, we were like, why does this have to be trapped on the Switch? At the same time, it's like, at least the fact that there's like the Switch Pro controller is like a decent controller to play with.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's not like I like, at least I could go back to this and not have an issue with the what I have to use to play it with, you know?
Yeah, it's not like it's trapped on the fucking PlayStation 2.
No, and because it's an older game, it's gonna run at its fucking, you know, frame rate and then take the hit and then go back. So it's not like we're taking a newer game which is gonna be really affected by its Switch port, and then it'll feel awful the whole time. At least it's an older game, so like, fine, I don't mind that, you know. But
like, it's not like we're sitting here playing God, what was it? Age of Calamity and going, wow, this is one of the craziest, best modes ever added to a Dynasty Warriors game, and you can only play it at 8 frames a second.
You know, if there's going to be something out there that you want this to happen to, let it be an older generation game that it can handle. So yeah, no, just the report is that this fucking DMC3 edition on Switch, thumbs up for all of that new shit. Incredible. And Matt Walker
fantastic,
was
amazing,
right to get very, very hype about all of that. Beyond that, yes, I also last week played the first of the 2 FF16 DLCs, Echoes of the Fallen.
Now that's Omega's DLC, right?
Yes. So I saw that Rising Tide dropped, and I was like, okay, now's the time. Let me jump back. And so, yeah, Echoes of the Fallen, one tight stream, going back to it, rewarming up with that system and getting some of the new stuff. Holy fuck, man. That thing was really good. For what it was, I was like, okay, what am I paying for here? And you get, you get yourself a little, almost like Bloody Palace, if in comparison, just like you go up through a tower. It's there was a mother crystal that we forgot about right over there.
Oh my god, it was just right there. I can't believe it.
We didn't turn our heads in that direction. And you go, you kind of go take on some new enemy types and stuff that pertains to the Fallen, which is like the mysterious, precursor race in the story. And the whole,
not the Alligans. They're not called the Alligans.
14?
They're totally different.
14?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their architecture is fairly similar.
So when you pull up to the building that it takes place in, everyone was shouting something, and it was like,
yeah. And
I was like, what are you shouting? And then I Googled that thing, and it was like, oh God, that is very much it. Alex, ALY. What the fuck was it called? The architecture just resembles Azizla.
That's really funny.
And I just did a quick Google image, and I was like, oh yeah, those colors and shapes and architectural calls are all happening right here.
Did you have to deal with Starbird or Larbird at any point?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Yes, Alex Lay. Exactly. That's where we went. And he told us we looked kind of huge. No, and so you just kind of get in there and, it's going through its entire, like...
I'm being informed that the actual FF14 battle music plays during the first part of that quest.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Like, directs the same.
Okay. Well, certainly it seemed to be... when we were previewing the DLC and stuff, and I was like, oh, is this where the 14 stuff gets worked in? And Felix were like, yeah, probably. And it's like, yep, so it seems, right? Seems like the 14 gets juiced up quite a bit here. But, that aside, what I really found interesting was the accessories you get as you progress through this tower, and it's a very short DLC. Like, you know, you can do it in 2 to 4 hours, I'd say, depending on how, like, you know, warmed up you are on the game. When you start going through some of these bosses, which are, there's some cool, there's some badasses, they do some rad shit, you know. You fight some enemies that walk up to you and do some big old fucking rider kicks, and you've got to, you know, work your magic. And you get these accessories that fundamentally change the way you fight. And like, they're things that are like, here is an accessory that lets you do enemy step like up to 7 times in a row and increases your air-to-air damage.
Oh, because that thing that I would like to do is I would like to do enemy step into the hold square button into the rising.
Sure.
And you could just enemy step straight up into the air.
Into the
but
relaunch.
Now I can do it more.
Into Helm Splitter to end your combo, you know? Here's an accessory that makes it so that you get a better reward on your parry timing. So when you land a parry attack, right, you get you get better, like I think you get like a better like heal back off of that or so. But also there's a red flash on the enemy's life bar when they're parryable, so you can swing your sword to get the clash timing. And and you get a clash timing trainer baked in with, if you want to do that style of play, right? No, not Titan block, but specifically sword regular clash, so you don't have to have Titan equipped.
Okay.
Yes, right? And then you get one that's like, here's something that makes it so that your healing, your gray life healing goes up faster, and so on. And you're just like, oh fuck, like this should have been in the base game.
Okay, because that's what I'm sitting here literally thinking as you're describing this, and I'm like, because Omega's DLC is like mandatorily in the final sequence, right? Like it's part of the end game sprint, right? When all the side stuff opens up, or does it show up earlier in the story?
It shows up right at the end. You have to complete a bunch of stuff that's basically right before the final boss to get it.
That would have a lot more oomph if you could get these changes.
Yeah,
like in the middle.
The basis of the story relies around the state change occurring towards the end of the game. Right. So, yeah, man. Now, I guess this makes a big difference for New Game Plusing it, but you're like, fuck, these things are huge and would have been really nice to have, especially, if you're looking for just a completely different way to play the game, man.
This is almost like, it's almost nostalgic in its like existence of like, congrats Sora, you got the best Keyblade, or congrats Cloud, here's Knights of the Round. Cool, what can I use it on? Nothing. There's nothing for you to you can just turn the final boss fight into a cutscene.
Yeah,
if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I got the like super dodge accessory, and I'm like, that's never coming off.
Oh yeah, you mean like every single person who ever got the Berserk ring in FF16, and you're like, this is so good, and it's so obvious, and it's optional. You're sitting there going like, they should have just made it part of your base kit, or like a level up or something.
It's fucking witch time into an amazing stinger, and you're just like, I'm always gonna do this. And then you get the other one, which I get more optional, but auto color up on your charge of weapon magic shot, right?
Yeah,
like,
I don't. It's so, Berserk ring was so strange to me, because it's like, well, it's optional, so you don't have to use it. You didn't even have to get it. But like, every single person I know who played the game had it and never took it off. So you got into situations like all the Clive like level fights were just like, this guy just can't deal with this Berserk ring. Oh my God. They should have just given you the Berserk ring as like a default ability.
It's just like these are massive ways that, and there's a couple others as well. They're all I think you get like 4 or 5 of them like in a row. And they're just like, hey, do you want to play the game completely differently? Go nuts, have fun, here you go. We're going to reward different aspects of your gameplay and focus you in on them, you know? And I love that shit. Like, let's take a second to like make an emphasis towards air combat, because it's there, but it's just, you know, you don't really have to do it. And by the time you have these like screen deleting moves, you know, you've got Odin just fucking blowing shit up. You're like, yeah, I guess I can do an air combo for funsies, but this is better incentives, you know? So that's all really cool. And then, second big quality of life change is you can now cycle through 5 preset groupings of icon and skill abilities on the icon screen right away. R1 to cycle through 5 presets pre-saved.
That's great, because that was annoying.
Yep. You get your loadout ready and then you switch to it.
Yeah, that's great.
Because there's some shit I'm never going to get rid of. I always want the little the crystal. I always want my Titan block. I always want the beam, you know, and Shiva dodge. But it's like there's other things I want to play around with in cycle. Like if I don't always want Odin, let me put Phoenix back on or whatever else. And so you can just make that loadout, and like you can't switch in battle, of course. The game's not built for that, but you can just switch it like out of battle right away to like loadout 2 or 3. Downside, you don't switch your accessories as well. So if you're wearing an accessory made for a certain icon, that's not
that
that's
can be
not
a little
change.
goofy. Yeah,
you know, but still, like big quality of life to add more variety for fun. Because like you know, once you get an icon in that game like that is better than the others, you're just going to kind of stick with it. And even if you wanted to go back and mess around with the others for fun, it's like, but the time it takes to like refund everything to install Bahamut, you know, when I'm like, I don't really like what Bahamut's doing, this isn't worth it. You're just going to sit in the back, you know? Also, there was a tweak that made it so that activation of Bahamut counts as like a dodge as well, I think. So you can...
like it needed it. Oh my god.
You know, so there's like things like that as well.
Why would you buff Bahamut?
I mean, I agree with it because it just felt too passive for me. Like,
but it's like so strong.
It is. But I just, even for how strong it is, I wish you did more with it, you know? But yeah, in any case, they really just they added some good shit there, you know. And then you progress until you get to Omega, which I didn't realize. I thought that the so hey, well, I guess like little spoiler alert for the DLC, but like when you beat it, you get the ability to go create the Omega weapon, which I was like, there it is. Of course, there's the thing, but I didn't realize that like that Omega weapon reference name started out as just Omega in like the earlier FFs before it even became that, right?
Oh yeah, no. In 5 it's just Omega, I think.
Okay, right. So
I think am I wrong?
So
I can't remember.
Something like that. So you deal with it, and you realize when that fight starts that you're like, I paid for Soken.
Oh yeah.
And Soken delivers. Holy
see what I'm listening to.
Fucking shit. That fight and that theme, it goes into an amen breakbeat, and then it just starts escalating from there, and you're like, okay, I see what we're doing. And like the fight is just like, you obviously switch realms into an insane color dimension of just beauty and wonder, and it's going hard as hell. And you know, a lot of folks are properly saying like, yeah man, this is what 14 is like, you know. And I'm like, okay, gotcha. And one of the like sickest things is just
wait, is it actually hold on a second. I'm seeing people talk about the track that you're talking about right now. Is it actually Escape or Escape? It's from 14?
No, it's called Iconoclasm. It's as far as I understand, it's a new track. Is it not a remix of a new thing?
Hold on, let's find out. I'll be able to tell this in 5 seconds.
It's a remix, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. It's the
So
same fucking song.
yeah. So
That's a good song.
It's amazing. Yeah, but a lot of folks were kind of like saying like, yeah, this is kind of the vibe of what it's like when 14's flying on all cylinders and shit. I'm like, okay.
14's visuals, because of its MMO and its tab target nature, like often suffer compared to an action game. So like Soken has to is responsible for like 60% of the mood,
right,
in any given encounter.
Every time a phase change occurs, every time you get a little further in, these cues are blowing shit up. And I mean, that shit's happening here. And just one of the hypest, perfect, and I don't know, but I'm like, I have to assume it was designed this way. But I had the perfect climactic buildup, because as the music is swelling, it's going into its final phase. And those moments when it's like, uh-oh, a big bad thing is being cast. You need a DPS check here to stop it from casting, right?
Yes, Wooly, I am highly familiar with a DPS check.
The purple bar comes up and says, hey, you got to stop this thing, right? Fuck that. It's doing a thing that sounds like it's going to murder you, but there is no DPS check bar that pops up. The fight is just going for real, right? There's nothing.
Yeah, it's called an enrage.
So it's like, it's this final little bit. It's fine. And I'm like, previously in 16, I was
watching it, and it looks visually identical to Proto Ultima weapon in Dunscathe. Like, It even has the start of the enrage is like the beams outward in a circle.
So yes, the you're going to die like vibe is very, very clear. And but it doesn't fall within the purview of the usual, like, uh-oh, stop it now. It's just, this is going to happen, and you better do the right amount of damage, So,
you are describing a specific type of DPS check called an enrage.
Okay.
So, an enrage is super common in 14 and other things, and it is, you have taken too long, or the boss has hit a final threshold.
Okay.
And it is a race to the finish.
Yes. Right, okay.
So in 14, when you do a boss fight, the boss usually has a strict timer. And so you're like, when you hit 11 and a half minutes,
it's going.
And the boss isn't dead, it will start a final cast. And if that final cast finishes at all,
okay,
it's just over. It gives you infinity damage. It just fades to black, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, the way this felt, it didn't feel like it was like taking too long. It felt like it was like, we got to that part of the music, which is, which is not it, but that's the right feeling. And yeah, with iconoclasm building up at that point, you're like, use everything, make everything go. And I'm just like wailing in on to like what feels like the magic pixel moment finish. Perfect clear,
it's fun
because it's wild.
You're describing what I think is called a hard enrage, which is like, okay, they're charging the spirit bomb, right? There's also something called a soft enrage, which I don't think would ever work in an action game like this. A soft enrage is the boss will buff itself, and it will just buff itself infinite times on a schedule. And there hits a point in which there is no numerical way you could ever possibly survive.
Okay. I guess, I mean, what 16 does do is the purple bar. That's like, it does. Yeah, I'm casting my strongest spell, but the fight will continue after you stop this.
I'm casting Destroy the Universe.
Yes. But like, there's something even more intimidating about like, not getting that little like warning. It's just like no.
Yeah, because the purple bar is like a mechanical like hey, yeah, and this is just like you just die, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. So that thing is just it was what an incredible fucking feeling and finish on that. And I felt like, yep, you know what? I spent my 10 Canadian on that DLC, and then the remaining 14 Canadian on Soken. Like I guess that's what that was. So really awesome so far, and but everyone has been saying as well that like the next is also really good. And there was a little track that you can play in the jukebox, which is the not new, the 14 version of, I guess, the Levi song, the Leviathan song.
Oh, really?
So that thing was there. And I was like, okay.
Is it just going Leviathan?
Yes, Leviathan,
over and over?
Leviathan.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah. That thing.
I fucking love that song.
So that thing was in there too. But I'll find out more of that when I get into Rising Tide. But just like that was a sick little fucking little burst, a little challenge with some good shit in it. You put on a glamour, so you got a Buster Sword now. So you got Clive swinging around just the Buster Sword. Shut up. But, you know, it is what it is. FF7 R2 available now. Yeah, I hear that this second one is also pretty fucking cool. But
what's it called?
The first one is Echoes of the Falling.
Yeah.
And the second one is The Rising Tide.
The Rising Tide. Okay. Soken, this is gonna sound strange because we talked up Soken so much when 16 came out. It feels like him being put out into like a wider audience that's not playing MMOs. But like it's so weird because he's basically just worked on 14. He also did like Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Right. Yeah.
But 14 has so much fucking music. I think he has made more music than like Mitsuda ever did in like their entire career at Square. Because like every single 2 years, it's plus the patches is like, here's 180 new fucking tracks.
Also, because time moves faster as we go on, the feeling of like all the classic composers from, you know, the 4th and 5th generation and shit, like going from one game to another, like, yeah, Uematsu and shit like that, like that timeline of amazing shit they made is
it feels like it was so long,
but it's like a like 5-year period into like of all the classics. Exactly. And then you're like, how long has he been working on this thing? More than that? Oh, well then, yeah, I guess it stands to reason that the, you know, the numbers are
the fucking
gonna compare to each other.
When you play Theater Rhythm and you get to the FF14 one, it has like 40 songs, and which is like triple all the other games. And you get through it and you're like, wow, they had to really fucking probably argue over what songs got in here, because this is like 1/100th of the total track list. It's ridiculous.
And not only is it like over, you know, the same periods of time now, but it's also like each game is calling for more and more of them, right? Look how many tracks FF7R has, like fucking a billion discs. It's crazy, and they're incredible. So yeah, I understand, you know, how like the new school is just competing with like just the sheer volume of it. But no,
FF7R has a fucking bizarre amount of music.
And that's the thing is, I kind of asked the chat, I was like, so guys, like, you know, if this is kind of how Peak 14 tends to like feel when it's going off, right? A big part of what's firing the neurons and synapses in my brain and making me go, oh, is the actioning that I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing action things and the boss is getting hit by them and it's responding and it's timing and is happening, which in an MMO, it's more about the group cohesion and then the boss kind of running through its preset thing. It doesn't respond to you directly in that way.
Yeah.
But what is that feeling like? And so they kind of were like, it's the music that's carrying you through these phases, and everyone working together feels good. So that's how you kind of translate it over from you doing it yourself, but every time you press a button, you're making things happen, you know?
I've thought about this, and I've thought about this, and I've thought about this, because there is an analogy. There is a way to at least emulate the understanding of the appeal, because like starting an MMO when you are tab targeting at level fucking 4 feels very basic, because it literally is basic, right? The beginning of any MMO is very basic because you have this big wide open chasm of super game to dig through, and the closest I can come up with is that you're trading fighting game. It's like fighting game to action game. Like they all kind of live in like combat genre of action hit buttons. You are trading that for a rhythm game. Because if I were to describe FF16 as boxing, I would describe FF14 as like group square dancing. Literally on squares. So you are playing an 8-man rhythm game.
Yeah, that makes sense, and again, like doing it together, you know, must feel good until
You're bros.
Well, at least until you're in a world of like, this is just who fucked up, why'd you fuck up, god damn it, and it's not, and the reward is not really a reward anymore. It's just like, kind of like
I have like fucking
clearing the bar.
Wave signed it so far through every variation on this, and we are now at the like, I'm gonna I fucked it. I fucked it, and then it comes back. You always fuck it, Pat.
And I don't know that I will ever feel in my heart that level. There'll always be a gap, right, to me. But I think I can probably appreciate like it at its finest, especially when everything else is, again, firing creatively on all cylinders. I can super enjoy that idea of like a coordinated rhythm thing happening. But there is just that distance that I think will never fully, lock in, and that's okay. It's a different genre. That's fine.
Oh, of course. Like there's this really intense desire of, not parasocial even, but like, I like this thing. Wooly's cool. Maybe Wooly will like the thing that I like. Right. And that applies to everything. Like I would think it was really cool if you liked 14, but I know you fairly well enough. And you've been extremely clear about like your specific like difficulties in like jumping past like game feel. But I think like the happy medium is like, no, there is something there. And as you get slower and older, part of that feeling starts to feel a little bit like the other thing. The new creator of Homogeneous, Erie, one of my mods, just started playing 14 out of nowhere. I'm like, one, you were making goddamn patched Street Fighter 6 fucking frame data videos 2 weeks ago. And look at you now. You're arguing about the beast tribes.
And something that these games do have that is a massive like credit to what you're describing is that the widest net possible can be cast when you're like, okay, well, maybe if the baseline thing we're asking you to do in most missions doesn't appeal, there's a character that has a specific thing you're looking for, right? In Overwatch, Reinhardt was there at the beginning to have me go, ooh, I like that guy and what he's got to do, and his role fits right into what I like doing in games a lot more than everyone else in that game. You got my attention, you know?
So I think this is kind of an accident. I don't think this was like a metaphor or intentional analogy when people started calling FF14 the fighting game retirement home. But it does kind of zoom in on something. I've recently been to a retirement home a couple of times. I take the baby there to make the old people happy.
Yeah.
And one of the benefits of a retirement home is that it takes people that have been isolated in their lives and forcibly gives them a community that at least has something in common, being they're old as fuck. And like when I think back to like, good moments in FF14, I think back to two types of things. I think about finishing Shadowbringers. I think about I'm gonna talk around this. I think about the QTE in the Susanoo trial. I think about stuff like that, big moments, storyline things. But I also think of like, man, it was kind of sad and cringe that every single one of my friends was hanging out at like 4:30 in the morning trying to get through Raubon's wall when Stormblood launched, and it was so fucked up you couldn't get through that quest. But then Darius got through, and then we all started freaking out because we had been up for 25 hours, and we all got in, and we're just shooting the shit for like 12 hours on Discord.
Yeah,
talking about bullshit.
That's a particular unique experience that not everyone's gonna have with this game, but that's your version of it.
And that's one of those things when I see oh, hold on a second. I need to be right back. I'll be right back.
BRB. Right.
I don't know what the fuck I was just talking about.
Okay, but yeah, it's interesting seeing a game that is soft advertising for another genre.
I would not consider it a soft advertisement. I don't.
Okay, well then it's made by the same people, so there's enough similarity that you get their flavor.
Like it feels like, you know, like the way that Dissidia is a soft advertisement for Final Fantasy in general.
Okay. Or or the way that Castlevania Judgment is a soft advertisement for Death Note.
Oh, you know what? I never talked about this. So alongside the 2 weeks ago, FF14 put the Final Fantasy 16 quest in, where Clive ends up in Eorzea. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but there is a part at the end of the quest in which a character that is literally Yoshi P looks straight at the camera and goes, I guess we'll never find out what happened to Clive, but maybe you will someday somewhere else. And just like it stares, it's like Jesus Christ.
Nice. Did he fall into a live stream? Is that what's going on?
So FF14 crossovers are such. You find the character and they are unconscious on the ground, and you're like, how'd you get there? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Cool.
The weird thing is that when you with Clive, you do the fight against Ifrit, but it's his Ifrit.
Okay.
And you get his you get the dodge. You get the Berserk Ring dodge as part of your mechanics for just that fight.
Interesting.
And it
okay.
Within 14 system, and it rules. And I walked away from it going, I would like more encounters that use that dodge system.
And it's locked into that quest?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
It uses a unique button combination.
Oh, fuck. That's... Damn, okay.
You can dodge a bunch of AoEs that you would not be able to in 14 system usually.
Would it break the rest of the game if you had it outside of that context?
Oh, it would ruin the rest of the game.
Yeah,
it would be it'd be so fucking broken.
Yeah, all right. Fair. Okay. Yeah, so no, that was hot shit. So I'm going to be that's pretty much it for me. I'll be back. So tomorrow I'll do Rising Tide, so I'll do the Levi stuff as folks are saying. And I think there's a bit more to that as well, because I think you not only is there like the Leviathan stuff, but you get the full new icon plus you unlock a bloody palace as well.
So when you were talking about, hey, you get these accessories that change how the game is played, I was sitting around being dumbstruck when people are like, I beat the Leviathan DLC, the second DLC, and unlocked a new icon. And like, for what?
Yeah.
For who?
Yeah,
it's
so
fucking weird.
For the last fight, I guess, and then again, new game plussing it, you know. But yes, no. So I'm just gonna be doing that, and then I'll be gone for the rest of the week. I'm gonna be out of town, so I'll be back around next Tuesday. So when we'll do the pod. So yeah.
Oh hey, I have a piece of advice you will likely never use. If you ever do decide to do a 14 stream for realsies, everyone in the world is going to be like, dude, I will carry you. Don't worry about it. Don't do that. That is like the worst thing you could possibly fucking do. Like the way that people like try and get people into Monster Hunter or whatever, and like, oh, no, don't worry, I'll get you to the good stuff. I'll get you the good stuff right now. And just like dragging somebody to it's the worst.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll say this much: the temptation, if I ever were to peep my head in, to just do so not live is high.
So Paige started to do some 14 streams and people really liked it, but like she encountered a very reasonable problem, which is the menu nightmare that is mature MMO is really hard to understand with an audience looking at you to get to the cool thing, because you're like like I gotta equip my gear. I don't know how to equip my fucking gear.
No,
I gotta move, like, you know.
Yeah, I there's a part of me that it is aware that it's just like you will never have a normal experience. It's just what it is, right?
Oh, you could have a normal experience anonymously.
I suppose so. Yes, or the ultimate, which is the play it like a solo. It's like a single player game.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was gonna say before I got sidetracked by bees. There was a bee problem. I had to go.
That's a real problem.
It was outside of the house, but it was hovering around the door.
Well, how dare he?
So the wife and the baby couldn't get in because there was a bee.
The whole thing's a lockdown situation, of course. Go on.
So now that the game is like, it's been single player-fied as much as it possibly could, right? And you can get through like 90+% of the content. I would not recommend that to anyone. I think that the whole deck of cards only really works on the assumption that you are kind of hanging out with people who are like-minded, simultaneous to at least some of the tasks.
Well, I'm sure I can appreciate the deep racism cuts that everyone says I'll appreciate about the story, but
you'll never get there if you don't make MMO friends, or have MMO friends, or have friends that you already have that kind of play MMOs.
Are there folks who make it there not offline or not single player, but essentially always queuing with randoms? Surely there must be.
In general, you're gonna queue with randoms. Like, you know, like I have what, 12 friends that play FF14 regularly. But like somebody has to be on, like literally online, and even the smallest group content requires 4 people.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm definitely aware of the difference in enjoyment between queuing up with even one person versus like just.
Oh well, that's the difference.
Versus none, right?
There's queuing up for normal shit. It's even listed in game as normal. With randoms to be assumed with generics or randoms, and right. But if you want to be doing the real shit, then you probably don't want random people, because that'll probably end in tears.
Right.
Helldive. Oh, somebody says Helldivers. Helldivers is a great example. Playing difficulty 4 or 5 with randoms, who cares? Playing difficulty 8 or 9 with randoms, maybe you would want people that will listen to you on voice chat.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Though actually, Helldivers is actually a really bad example for this, because I found that the game is easier on difficulty 7 and 8 than it is on 5 and 6. Because the people that live in difficulties 7, 8, and 9
know what the fuck they're doing.
Really good.
Yes,
they're really, really good.
There is that too. Or if anything, you are holding them back, more likely.
Yeah.
Do your dailies with randoms? I'm not doing fucking dailies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not that. I ain't that dude. I will do the daily that has the thing that I want behind it, but I will ignore 9.99% of those fucking whatever. Same. I mean, as I scroll through the goddamn Nikkei shit, I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't care about that. I get that notification out of my whatever. Ooh, you know. And
so dailies in 14 exist for only 2 reasons. They only exist in 2 reasons. One, you're level cap, and you want currency for gearing up. You're not at level cap, and this will give you a bunch of levels. But they have tuned the XP so that on your first character, you will easily hit level cap long before you get to the end of the game. and they'll just give you the gear required to get to the end of the game. So you would if you started playing today, you would hit fucking Dawn Trail before you had to do one daily, which would probably take you like a year.
I know that the more I speak in this situation, the more incriminating it'll be, but it's just, picture, if you will, a world where the moment I look sideways at a task that looks kind of monotonous to me, and I just Alt F4 the whole thing. Like, I'm just like, nah, I'm here for the shit that's the meat and potatoes that draws me in, and barely a second more. You know, like I know that's annoying, but I am who I am's. You know?
You want a cake made entirely out of frosting, and that's fine.
But only if everyone knows that I'm actually a pie person who's trying out a cake.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's not who didn't want a cake to begin with. You know? I didn't walk in here looking for a cake. I'm a pie guy, but if I'm gonna have it, I'm like, yeah, well, all right, you know what I'm looking for. Anyways.
There is so Solidus actually does do one. It mentions one thing that is very interesting. There's a daily called Crystal Tower. Well, it's not a daily, but whatever. There's a raid, easy raid that you do all the time, leveling up your characters, called Crystal Tower. It's from A Realm Reborn, so it's there right away, and it just happens to pop up a lot when you run your roulettes. Like, it happens a lot. Like, I have probably run Crystal Tower like 2,000 fucking times, and the music's really good. It's pretty easy, gives you good rewards. Blah blah blah. They take the assumption that you have done Crystal Tower like literally 1,000 times to sprinkle it later in later stuff. So they don't even have to point. They're just like, everybody fucking knows Crystal Tower.
Yeah, that's cool, especially when you can like fuck with expectations and things that are like based on your knowledge of it. It's really cool when you make it to that next level of Tartarus and the music layer adds on and you're like, oh shit. Yeah. Oh shit! Cool.
There's a late
I had
game
to go through
boss
some
fight.
boring ass Tartarus to get there.
Yeah,
but we got there, and there was a nice little thing for it.
There is a late game boss fight that you can only know what to do if you remembered how to complete it in the A Realm Reborn version.
Oh my god!
Which for some people was like 9 years ago or this past weekend.
Okay.
Depending.
Someone says a very simple short sentence, and I guess it really just Wooly plays video games for fun. Like in my soul I don't lose sight of that. Sometimes I do, but not for very long.
Sometimes when you get older,
you can flash lights and you can distract me for a little while, but it won't last too long. There will eventually be a moment where I go like, wait, am I having fun? And that just snaps every once in a while. And if the answer is yes, then I'm like, okay, cool, just checking. And that's it, you know.
So like for me, MMO shit, like a huge part of the appeal, which is like endemic to the genre, and it carries a wildly varying amount of weight. I like big areas in games that feel like a real location that I am teleporting my brain inside. That carries really far.
Okay,
it carries a lot.
Yeah,
like entering into a new zone and like seeing a horizon and being like, oh, what's here? Like, enormous big deal. But for those who that doesn't kick in that good chemical, it's actually really annoying to traverse the long distances sometimes.
Yeah, so I get that. I definitely do get that. But like, to keep it active, what I like alongside that is like, just good, strong lore that has me thinking about it as I'm moving into that space. So, Automata is, buildings that are dilapidated, post-apocalyptic, desert.
Yeah. It's gray.
It's
like green.
But like knowing the context of what all this means and when it's taking place and thinking about what all of that means, it takes the elements you're looking at and has you thinking about them so much more than that shitty little stupid garbage can robot. You're thinking so much more about why it exists and how it's behaving because of what Yoko Taro has told you about how it got here. You know?
Well, in that case, if you were ever to play FF14, you would need to start into Gridania so that people could explain to you that the spirit of the forest is canonically racist.
Yes to all of this. Yes. I approve. Yeah, so anyways, I'm that's me in a nutshell. I'm a simple creature. But an amazing song will pull me right back in. So yeah, FF16 tomorrow. Probably not gonna get through that bloody palace, but at the very least, I'll see if I can get through the.
Do you know how many floors it is?
No idea about it. All I know is you
then
unlock. You unlock it at the
Who the fuck
end.
knows?
You unlock it at the end of the Rising Tide is all I know. So, all right. That's pretty much me. What's going on with you?
Well, I visited you, and I visited my mom and pops and my sister and my brother-in-law, and hung out with my nephew, and brought my tiny pet junior baby on an aeroplane over to see y'all. And I will ask you a question. Isn't he just the cutest little guy?
So
Isn't he just so adorable?
I mean, we had a moment where it was just talking about like how it's like, oh shit, you are currently like watching over perfection.
Yeah.
Good luck. Like just completely untainted, just like that. Just idyllic. All right, just can we hold this
All
state?
Smiles and giggles.
Joy, pure joy. Can we hold this state? Can we lock it in?
Oh, it's gonna be hard.
It's
gonna be tough.
As reality encroaches, can we just?
But traveled to Montreal, took a couple of planes. Baby laughed and giggled and slept on the plane on the way over and on the way back.
So here's the thing, like early signs indicate that baby likes people.
Oh my
which
God,
is not a you thing, but
no, it's not.
But it's in there.
It just, hey, here's a baby, smile, goo goo gaga, got really lucky, really lucky with that. Oh my God. Just don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up.
Like me and Paige went out and we had lunch right before the podcast, and the baby was in a high chair, like laughing and smiling at the waitress. And she's like, "Oh, what a sweet little guy." And like I looked at Paige and I'm like, "This temperament is a gift, and it can be ruined by life events. We just have to be ready to kill anyone who will fuck with this." Like, oh my God. Oh, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. It was nice being able to hand Pat Jr. to like my mom and dad. They got all emotional and shit. And then commenced the now that I am a parent, it's time to hear the remainder of that crazy shit I wondered about that I didn't understand when I was a kid. Like how my mom would be like, "Oh, these fucking kids." And would just change all the clocks in the house and tell us it was time for bed.
Time to squeeze the last little bit of juice out of this fucking dry ass, out of this stone. The last drop of blood. Oh my God.
So for folks listening at home, this was the 90s. There were no automated clocks. They were all personally set. So mom and dad could totally go around the house and be like, "Yeah, it's 9 p.m. right now. Whatever."
And this is not the first time I've heard of this. This is I actually like going like, "Oh, it's actually later. Yeah, it's time for bed," when it's super not.
I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." Because I never caught on. I never caught on. My sister caught on. Of course she did, because she's the genius of the family. But like I never caught on. So I'm sitting there, mouth agape, just going, "Oh, what?" And then I'm like, "Hey mom, get this. Did you ever notice that I stole cookies every single day out of your cookie bag for like 10 years? She's like, no, I thought the kids that I babysat did that.
Oh,
No, Mom, it was me. You took a nap from 3 to 4 p.m. every single day. And I went, you know what? If I take a random amount of cookies, if I take 2 today or 3 tomorrow or whatever, you'll never figure it out. And she didn't.
Okay.
Got her.
But the consistency is there. You can never predict the amount. Yeah. Gaslighting is the ultimate babysitter.
Oh. So my mother actually admitted to me, oh, you know what was really funny when Patrick was a baby? What's that? Well, we would tell him things that were wrong, like brown cows give chocolate milk. But then we'd forget to correct him until he got into an argument at school. Oh my God. Really? Yeah, no, we'd forget all the time. We couldn't remember what we told you.
Cool. That's good. That's set up for victory right there.
And my personal favorite, you ever have, Willie, I don't know if you've felt this in your life, where somebody older than you, usually a family member, maybe a family friend or something, they tell you a story when you're like 15 or 20 or something, and then later they tell like your spouse or girlfriend the same story, but you're older now. Mm-hmm. And the story they tell them is the real story. And the one that you got when it happened was complete bullshit.
Okay, I feel like you've mentioned this before, but I forgot what it was pertaining to.
My dad starts to tell Paige, oh, you know, when I had the heart attack, right? You know, I had quit smoking, blah, 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 blah. And he had a heart attack when he was driving, right? And my mom's like, yeah, we were driving to the in-laws' house. And here's a detail that never got to Patrick up until this visit. My dad gets out of the car to like do a little walk around, like we're pulled off on the side of the road. And he looks at my mom and says, give me a cigarette. And she's like, well, you quit smoking. He's like, I think I'm going to die. Just let me have one last cigarette. Meanwhile, I'm in the car playing with my fucking Game Gear going, oh, I wonder if Dad's okay. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
And then he had his smoke and then got back in the car and then they went to the hospital. Fuck. And they're like, sir, you're having a heart attack. He's like, yeah, I know.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Man. I guess that you kind of
the last cigarette he's ever had in his life.
Yeah, I guess that one you kind of get a bit more. It's like you might want to save that for later. No, there were a couple of those, but usually, those were just like not like the real version comes out later, but it's more just like, oh, when you get older and like the story comes back up again, there's details about like, hey, what happened to this person that used to be around, and like
they're dead.
Or no, just like, oh, they weren't around anymore originally. Like, oh yeah, they like moved away or whatever, and not like, you know, there were later on you find out that it's not that they moved away, but there were allegations of criminal nature that you know, that were not brought up at the time. Where you're like, oh, cool, okay, right, that was actually, yes, there was, got it.
But yeah, no, it's Paige and I were like sweating the whole trip over, just like, oh my God, we're traveling with an 8-9 month old baby. Oh my God. Oh, is he gonna freak out? No, he's being such a cute baby that on the way back to Vancouver, the flight attendant wanted to hold him, and we're like, okay. And she's like, oh my God, you know, I'm at that time in my life where everything in my body's telling me I need to have kids, but you know, it's just not time yet. And I'm like, this is kind of personal. this is like
you're a whole yes,
like, I understand he's like Like you don't have to tell me that my child is activating your ovaries on the plane.
You are like just emitting an AT field destroyer of just truth is being uttered without being asked for, you know? Like, wow, he's so cute. You know, I never thought, but here we are. It's about that time. And I just can't get him to really commit to it. And I don't know what I wanted. Anyway, here you go. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's basically been my week. I saw you. I saw some friends. I saw family. Baby's amazing. Best baby ever. I don't know if I talked about Quebec last week. Did I on the podcast? I talked to you about it.
Yeah, there. The a little bit of it was touched on. I think the upon re-entering.
Did I talk about the fucking rental car on the podcast?
I want to say so. Yeah.
Yeah. So this feeling of like, did we make the right decision to move? Right. There was that, and then there was upon leaving. I'm like. Inside Quebec, a disproportionately low amount of people smiled at my baby. Bad sign. Like we went from 90% of passersby
that's a weird stat.
Smile and wave at the baby to like, I don't know, 40%.
Really? Is that's not a bias. That's not a bias. You feel that's a real.
Oh, absolutely. And same thing with the dog. Actually, we didn't bring the dog, but when we lived in Montreal, I'd walk the dog and like most people wouldn't even glance at him. Move out to Vancouver, people were like, "Oh, what a cute doggy!" Like every person on the street.
I mean, look like that. There's stuff that I can echo and underline here about our different experiences. I don't feel like I've gotten the world I'm in hates babies vibe.
I think
that
this might be the single most important descriptor of any location is, do they smile at my admittedly by you perfect child?
This sounds very extreme based on the experiences you've had. This, I don't know, man. I'll take your word, but grain of salt, that's crazy. That's like,
it is crazy that somebody wouldn't smile at that adorable baby. Crazy. Anyway.
All right.
Baby's still getting cuter every day. I love him so much. But that's pretty much it for me. If you want to go see me play FF7 Rebirth, as well as backlog and some phone shit, go down to twitch.tv/PatStaresAt.
There you go. You know what? Let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
Let's do that.
This week, the podcast is sponsored by Shopify.
Hey, Shopify. I love you.
Cha-ching is the sound of a sale on Shopify. And, if you don't know, Shopify is what's going to help you take whatever phase your business is in to the next level. Because it's a global commerce platform that's helped to set you up and get you covered with all the basics if you're trying to figure out what to do, like we were when we're doing something as dumb as Let's Playing and podcasting, and then you want to get merch sold. That's the simplest concept, right? Let's make a t-shirt and get it to the people. But what if they're in whatever country? What if you have to deal with...
Other countries are far away. I don't understand.
We don't know about their currencies or customs for shipping things and where they go and how to get there and how fast and what means and every aspect of getting the shirt from...
Boats or something?
It's confusing. Do we have to go across the Siam Gap to get there? I don't know. Well, you don't need to.
I don't know where that is.
It's near Kamchatka. So,
I have a picture of a risk board in my head. That's the only way I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're coming across the Siam Gap, just around the ways from Kamchatka, you're going over Alaska into Russia.
Gotta get those 5 armies for North America, man.
Yeah. I always hear it specifically in the Chris Farley voice. We were coming around the Siam Gap just a ways from Kamchatka.
Oh, okay, yeah, there it is.
Anyway, so the deal is this. Shopify is going to help you get that business set up and started. You can take your lack of knowledge and they'll get you covered with the setting up the shop, getting your getting the platform all set up, getting all the data you need, all the information, and eventually as you grow and get to your millionth and beyond sale, when things are really popping off, they'll scale up with you. They've got the best converting checkout rates, 36% better than average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and award-winning support for all your needs and questions. They are the global force behind Brooklinen, Allbirds, Rothy's, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size, and they're across 175 countries. And we use them to do things as simple as, again, getting you a t-shirt. It's real simple, but they can grow with you and get more complex than that. So sign up for a $1 per month trial at shopify.com/superbeast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/superbeast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/superbeast. Thank you, Shopify.
Thanks, Shopify.
Yo, it's 2024 and we're near our 40s. You want to talk about Akuma? and what Akuma can do?
Did you know that Akuma has a fucking air fireball? Holy shit!
He does the raging demon!
Ah! I feel so old. I have been talking about the new thing that Akuma can do since Christ, 90 fucking 6, 7, what?
Like,
since I was literally a child.
Like, we are actually, as that last generation, pre-internet into internet, as that generation of 8-bit into photorealistic games, where we've really experienced this full breadth and expansion at an exponential pace. And fuck, do things really barely ever change, do they? We don't want them to. Right?
We've done this so many times that I remember us joking about what new stupid nonsense they're gonna give Akuma. They're gonna just give him. They're just gonna go to Tokido's house and just hand him the medal now, right? It's just all this nonsense. It's like, oh, here comes the trailer. What could they possibly give him that is more busted than we imagined? Oh, command grab!
Yeah. Man, I just, on this note of wherever you go, there you are, is the vibe. I saw the other day, J.J. Abrams is apparently going to be directing a Back to the Future reboot. And there's a tweet that was just like, this dude has been making movies for half his life, and the only thing he wants to do is just, my childhood though. That's the entirety of it,
wretched.
Right?
It's pathetic. But it's so embarrassing.
And it's just man, that. But this is really just. We just want the thing we know. That's all we want. We're just these creatures of comfort and habit. Give me my blankie, no matter.
Listen. We have alluded to this. We have said something similar to this, but Akuma is not, I just want my blankie, right? Akuma is a tax. Akuma is a tax on people who play fighting games the way the lottery is a tax on stupid people, okay? Akuma should be there. He should be there. He's more mandatory than some of the fucking original 8. And he will be there.
Honda.
He will be there.
Looking at you, Honda.
But maybe a little bit extra. Maybe a little bit extra for Akuma.
God damn it. He's back. He's old. He's angry. They fixed the lion mane by turning it into a beard. They put barbarian fur on him, and he's evil and he's mad.
That shot of him with the back with his arms out, he just kind of looks like a fucking anthropomorphized penis.
I mean, yes.
Like the veins and the skin, it's just
textured, rough, coarse, And yeah, and you're gonna fight him on Akuma Island, and fucking, generic what is it? John World Tour walks up to him, and
Is that what we're calling him?
I believe that's what he's been being called. And then he jumps down and shoryukens the shit out of you, and you land on the ground and you survive. And he next to the statue of the shoryuken head off the statue that he also did, and you're like, motherfucker, he's still cool. There he is.
It's interesting, like the intros for the other characters is all like the character's doing something really cool, and they'll have a little standoff with your guy, and they'll obviously be better than John World Tour, but the new guy's got some things. Here it's like, hey, you survived getting rocked by Akuma. That's worth something.
Now, lore heads, take note.
This is so funny to me.
He doesn't just do a shoryuken to you. He does a fucking Metsu shoryuken wholeheartedly stolen from Ryu. He ate that shit in Third Strike and went, oh,
that's good though.
Oh, you got me.
Go for some of that.
And he hits you in the chin and holds it and does the same level of pressure into explosion, and X copies it. And so now he's got a fucking evil, call it a Mesatsu shoryuken, whatever you want.
Oh, we look over at someone in the chat, Chillaxing J, saying Akuma kill count is 0. Oh, not so fast. Because the description of his stage describes that Akuma sits around making statues all day of the hundreds of opponents he has destroyed.
The new stage, Enma's Hollow, which is essentially Akuma's Island from the old from Third Strike and Street Fighter Alpha 3 and so on. So yeah, off screen bodies. Don't worry about it.
He killed like 500 guys.
He killed the whole bunch, And again, until old man Gotetsu shows back up.
That would be so fucking funny. Wouldn't he be like 150 years old at this point?
I mean, propped up by true Satsui no Hado and psycho magic, perhaps, who knows, but regardless. So he's there, and we got to see the actual gameplay style. So for one, it looks like they've taken not just all the Akuma stuff that you got used to in Street Fighter V, but they're taking all the evil boys and putting a little bit of them into him too. They sprinkled in, so Evil Ryu, Oni, and Kage all have particular target combo things that each of them has, and he has a little bit of those as well worked in. He has the V trigger stuff that he had in Street Fighter V as his EX or OD moves now. So when he does the shoryuken, he does the chop afterwards.
Having those be EX moves instead of V trigger seems way better.
Yeah, it's all there. He gets it all. Air fireball, I got you covered. Ground fireball, yep. You want to charge it up further? Red fireball,
that lava shit from Tekken.
So yeah, he's got the new punch, right? He's got a new move. It's a big old lava punch, and it is his equivalent of Ryu's, Go-Hado, like the right. So he like charges it up, and the same thing for the level 2. It lands it hits you into a crumple state where you tumble and hit the wall. Hashogeki rather. It looks cool in combos. He's extending with it. And then the big thing has always been his demon flip and how annoying he's going to be with it. So before, he could dive kick, he can slide, he can throw you, but he always had to commit to something, right? Here, he can do demon flip into overhead, which he couldn't do before. Then he can dive kick. He can do a low, so he gets a high, low, mid, or he can just land in front of you. So he can actually do it to nothing, which is really, really good. Because
what if you wanted to use a EX meter?
Then you get your extra fireball. Then you get your he gets extra shit.
And you get Tatsu in the air
Tatsu off of demon flip. As long as you spend your meter for it, right? So he loses the command grab out of demon flip, but that's because they put it on the fucking teleport moving forward. Of course, with that, they mentioned that the teleport going forward no longer has invulnerability, so he can get hit out of it. But still, it's a fucking
whatever.
It's a command grab on the ground, dashing up to you, catch you sleeping. So Akuma's got one of those now. He gets everything and then some forever because that's Akuma. Akuma's job is to have more and then some. 4 supers, the only character with 4 supers, fuck that, give him 5. Right? He's got Fireball level 1, he's got Air Fireball level 1, he's got his
Lava Punch level 2.
Lava Punch level 2. Also, all level 1s have that invulnerability moment, but the others tend not to. Fuck that. His level 2 gets invulnerability as well.
Yeah, why not? Fuck you.
Eat shit. And then his level 3, which I like it. I know some people are saying it's kind of underwhelming because it's like that.
I really like it.
I like it because it's like that.
It's the chop from Third Strike.
But it's point blank, straight to the face hit. And it's
great.
Because it's like in 5, they were going for a kind of simple, effective, brutal feeling with Geef's super, and they failed completely because the animation just...
It was the worst ever.
It just no-sells it, right? But here they want to get to the point of like, this is just brutal. He has no qualms about hitting a downed opponent. Drop you down, fuck off, right? So it's a big murder punch to the ground. It's just get death. And then you get your Raging Demon, which, okay, I always didn't like seeing what was going on because when we started to see it, it didn't look as cool as just...
Yeah, when you started to see it, it was just like, oh, it's dark.
The magic.
He's hitting you a bunch from different directions.
Exactly. That's not anywhere near as cool as the idea of like, your soul is being dragged to hell and your sins and a demon is feasting on, like, you know, all the lore implications of like your instant hell murder where your sins and the guilt you feel and all of that, the Ghost Rider aspect of it, you know, you lose a little of that when you see the flashes of him just punching you a bunch and shit. So it's like, okay, it's a glorified Ryaku Ranbu, which is like the Ryo and Takuma style big rush combo hits, sure.
Yeah.
But this version time now, it's like, okay, no, let's take that a step further. You get warped into a Genjutsu-ass Itachi dimension.
Yeah, that's some Naruto shit.
And an infinite sky of Akumas is all flying in at you.
That's great.
And each one of them is doing a hit, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, no, that works again.
And you can even like headcanon it to like in 4 or 5 or whatever when you saw it's completely dark and it's like 1, 2, 3 and it's just really fast. Those were all different Akumas.
So when he goes die 1,000 deaths, it's because 1,000 different Akumas are coming at you, right? And then the full like expansive, and it only lasts a second too, but it's just enough to register a holy shit. You know,
there's a lot of Akumas.
Where
out
am
there.
I? What's going on? You know, and then like I'm
being told by chat to say the word domain expansion.
Domain expansion, sure. Get your JJK going.
They'd win.
And then he does it. I'm like, you know what? You sold me on it. Then that's fine. That works. It's cool to see as well on his old costume. They have the throwback, of course, but I'm glad they included just a hint of the gray on the sides. So it's like it's the younger Akuma, but like right before Third Strike looking, where he's getting a little gray on the bit there. So
unlike Street Fighter V, where I saw the new Akuma design, and I'm like, this is a secondary tax on you buying the old Akuma design. Mm-hmm. I look at the Street Fighter 6 one and I go, that's great.
Yep.
But I also like old Akuma.
Yep. But
I'd flip flop between them if I could, or if I want to.
And as everyone figured it out back with the old Lion Sunflower look, where it was like, just make it so that it's a beard and his hair is growing out wildly, and that's fine. No one hates the beard. It's just the fact that it's a perfect sunflower circle.
You look like a Shih Tzu.
You know, yeah.
You look like a tiny little poofy dog.
And the whole time, the effect is to try and look like an old Buddhist statue, an old
or like a lion.
To look like a lion, and to give off the God, what's the fucking word? Anyway, whatever. You know the deal. The shit he's killing all the time from the temples. But yeah, this kind
Buddha?
of no, a particular type of demon for the
Oni.
They did that. Yeah, an Oni, exactly, an Oni.
Oh man, I just looked at the trailer again. I can't believe Colorblind Volcano Island is way better than this.
That,
Colorblind Volcano Island is way better than this.
that is a cool design.
Volcano Island is way better than this.
That is a cool design.
in the back there.
Yes, an Ashura. That's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, so he does all of that. But yeah, you didn't lose any of it, and then you built on it and fixed it. So here he is. Also, like the text appearing and shit is like now there's like a whole ton of it to read. I'm sure it's all
It's all I looked at the translation. It's all like I'll kill you. You're dead. Punching
heaven, earth, violence,
like that.
Tree, soul, spirit, kill, murder, hell, death. Kill.
And on top of Akuma showing up, here comes the balance patch alongside him.
As we begin season 2 officially.
So we can live in a world in which every single character has been specifically balanced to job to Akuma.
Well, so this game has been one where most characters have had fairly even amounts of life. Geef and Marissa get a little bit more, but they're not really fucking around with low and high health values. Akuma is usually a glass cannon. He has all those things.
Usually got 800 instead of 1,000.
He's got all those moves, but the trade-off is he dies easier. I imagine they're going to do the same thing around this time. There's got to be a downside, right? There's got to be a downside.
All right, hey, Jamie's coming in with only 3 drinks. There's no 4th drink anymore. You just it's drink number 1's where you start. Come on, yeah.
Pre-drunk, yeah.
That would be like the most insane buff that's ever happened to anybody.
I mean, there's a lot of wild shit you could do with again, like the idea of Jamie installing permanently or starting with one or keeping them across rounds.
You know what? Fuck it. Jamie has the target combo at 0 drinks. Done. The character goes up a full letter grade.
If you let the intro rock, he takes an extra sip. Yeah. So we'll see whatever they do, but I imagine Akuma's going to have something to him that is going to be fucking just, the balancing can't be so insane that he gets all of that plus 5 supers and his turn on the Xbox,
I know that. Akuma's come out and been like fucked. Like that has happened.
Yes, but we're trapped in
every game he's ever released in.
But we've never released a game that's been this tight from day one. So fingers are crossed, Yeah, we'll see. He also gets to hold his punches to get his extra fireballs as well. So he gets regular and
you know what? We'll just
fireballs.
Keep all those extra fireballs and just hold the button for a second. That makes sense. Those Masatsu fireballs always took longer anyway. They don't need a different motion. Just have you hold the button.
And if it clashes, it eats the hits from whatever it clashes with and gives you the remainder. Anyway. He's dropping on May 22nd with Enma's Hollow and the balance patch. Cool.
And all the DLC costumes.
Yes,
Costume
for the extra characters as well.
Which are almost all better than everybody's existing costumes. Like they're all slam dunks.
They didn't show off any of the new missing ones yet for 3, but for the new characters at the very least. But yeah, we'll see what they are. So far, they've been fucking great. So Raging Demon only when he's about to die now, only in CA.
And you can combo into it.
Yes. So
which means it's probably not like a 0 frame grab or anything like that.
Yeah,
it might be a hit.
Making it conditional, I get it. Like you can combo into it, but you can only have it during a certain moment. Plus, it costs all your resources. Because in 5, it was also conditional, right? You had to do V trigger 1 to access it. I get that idea as well. I was kind of wondering. I was like, what if it's like only when you're in burnout or something, like that. Or the opponent, that is, to say. But yeah, when you're about to die, he's gonna.
I feel like I'm just thinking about that because I had forgotten about burnout while we were talking about this. Like, if Akuma has a lower health than anyone else, and you want to do all this fancy shit, then him getting into burnout, you might as well just put the controller down and let your opponent kill you.
Oh man, maybe. Because when you look,
that makes him more glass than usual.
Yeah, because you see what in the video he does. I think he does like air fireball, lands, it and then
Pardon.
does drive rush in, and as the air fireballs are hitting, he's converting it into a launch with his up kick into, and then continue extending it to like all the way to the wall into like a level 1 super. And so you're just like, oh yeah, with drive rush he can air fireball into fucking covering his bases, which typically would be, again, that would be like a V trigger thing, you know, from before. So
I can easily see like a lot of players in like gold and below just being like, check out this Akuma combo I did. Okay, so you've burnt out 10 seconds into the round because you did your cool Akuma combo.
Shake my hand.
Blew every possible fucking resource you had.
Here comes,
and it was really cool.
Yeah, and we all saw it, but here comes my loyal fans.
Yeah.
Bye. Maybe we'll see what they do.
I'm excited to see round 3 Akuma versus Manon.
Oh boy.
I'm excited to see 2 throws equals death.
So if they didn't fuck with his like life, they could fuck with his drive, you know, like lost.
Oh yeah,
they could do shit like they could balance it around him losing drive more frequently. They could find other ways if they didn't want him to take more damage, you know. Not that I think that would probably be worse. Actually, I think it'd be better to stay alive.
I would prefer the lower life.
Yeah, and then to get forced into burnout more often. That'd be insane. Probably, but anyway, we'll see. All right, and then. That's not the only big, exciting returning character coming back. Aw, shit, Evo Japan, what's going on? Lidia is returning to Tekken 8. Did you see?
What's Lidia?
She's the president.
Of Poland.
Yes, Lidia.
Oh, cool.
Sobieska.
I like her. She's cool.
And she did the chops, and she did the punches, and she did the Poland.
Hold on, Wooly. We need to stop talking about the Evo Japan announcements for approximately 40 minutes while we wait for Twitch to unban those channels.
Oh, God. Poor Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. In the middle of the finals, Twitch banned all the Evo channels, and everyone was like, what the fuck happened? And yeah, like 40 minutes later, they came back. At least the Japanese channel stayed up, so people were able to switch over.
I am in love with the way that I found that out, which was somebody making a little joke tweet about like the Twitch robot saw like Street Fighter 6 Grand Finals with Cammy, Ken, JP, and Blanca, and thought it was a rebroadcast, and so banned it.
People were trying to figure out, they're like, is it because of the unmoderated chat? What was going on? The Evo account tweeted out later that apparently there was like a login issue. So someone, maybe one too many people, or someone logged in some way that they weren't supposed to, and it seemed suspicious, and it caused an auto ban.
Oh, like people setting up the streams,
yeah,
were logging in on like 40 different fucking setups,
something like that. You know, there was something suspicious happened with the login, and it triggered an auto ban or whatever. So yeah, that happened. But yeah, no. So Tekken, they revealed that. Of course, we all know that the true winner of Evo Japan in our hearts was Jin Mashima, who, if anyone hasn't tuned in.
Great name.
You know, when I was talking about how good Eddy is as a piece of DLC, you know, what comes to mind for a lot of people? Like, I go, you make the joke, oh, Eddy, Tekken is 33333.
Tekken is 3.
Yeah. And then some people get to work with their mods and their AIs and their shit, and they put together a goddamn controller mash bot that just streams Eddy mashing 3, which is the X button,
exclusively,
and playing online against people and fucking winning and moving up
higher rank than me,
moving up the ranks generally, and seeing and get like a couple people catch on, a whole lot of people don't, and some people that do catch on still eat it, and you know those are the worst ones because he's doing that one combo, and depending on when you press 3, it's gonna he's gonna pop you up, go into a full wall convert, get that install into banana stand, his Mandingo point, he's gonna get it. It's crazy that you could just have that one mashed button do so much and carry you so far. Everyone's typing 3DDY, so Thready is doing it.
It's probably, did you just say fucking Mandingo point?
That's what I said. Got correct.
Okay, I'm sorry. My brain just kind of rolled back on itself for a second.
When you get to level 2 Mandingo, it buffs his banana stand.
We talked about this.
We've been over this.
We talked about this. This is a perfect actual visualization that you can show people, and you're like, this is the fucking bell curve of I'm just pushing buttons in real life. This is what happened. This is the difference between complete amateur, or in this case, literal fucking non-human robot that doesn't do anything, and beginner player.
Yeah.
And Tekken feels extra bad for this.
Yeah.
Tekken has always felt the worst of, I'm learning how to play. Fuck, I'm getting beaten up by 5-year-olds.
Just juggled right over. And it's because it's doing a bunch of mids, and then there's eventually a low. But it also is it's a filter that is a very early beginning filter, which is, are you fighting while paying attention to what your opponent is doing at all?
No.
At all.
No.
Or are you just focused on doing your thing that you practiced and try to land it?
I want to do my thing.
I
want to do my big Akuma combo. I don't care if I burn out afterwards.
Well, then good luck. If you are paying attention at all to what is happening, then you can do that. You can figure it out. Some people, again, you do start to see them blocking. I saw some folks switch over to the modern button toggle, once they kind of saw what was going on. But the whole time, the chat is just getting mad at anyone who figures it out and fights back.
Oh, yeah.
The level of venom at anyone who's like, oh, fuck you, you try hard, you think you're so good, blocking
just
the
block,
low.
Stupid. Just block.
And it's just block the mid, crouch. You're gonna see the sequence, and then after the third one comes in, block the low and punish. And people are so upset when people start blocking it. Oh god, it's great. So Jin Mashima on Twitch is streaming that Eddy bot for now. You can go check that out. But enough of that shit. Here comes Slayer. Man, they know how to look at that lineup, right? ABBA, Elfelt, Johnny, Slayer, all the fan favorites, save Dizzy, who they're gonna sell you later.
If Hakan was a Guilty Gear character, I would have hope in my heart that he may one day return, because Guilty Gear is willing to go way in the back and rummage around and pick something. Like ABBA is
obscure,
so fucking weird,
but a fan favorite obscure character. That's the thing. Came about in Isuka, stuck around after she got ported over, and as just a weirdo dead girl,
Yeah. Whereas Slayer is everybody fucking loves Slayer. Slayer's great.
He's just the fucking god of dandyism and daddyism now, right? So Slayer coming back to Strive, you're like, everyone gets the glow up, but Slayer was...
Akuma and Slayer are back now.
But Slayer's original design, in my opinion, is perfection.
I agree.
So I'm like,
so do they, because they barely changed it.
How do you build on that? You give that fucker a jacket?
Just have him wear the coat.
Just give him a
with
jacket.
His arms not in the sleeves.
And just make him a little bit older, and he's amazing.
There's a character in Infinite Wealth named Yamai who wears his fucking suit and he wears the coat, but he doesn't put his arms in his sleeve. And when he showed up, I was just like, I wish I was the kind of person that was cool enough in my life to ever rock this look even once, but I'm not.
He's so clean. He's so clean. And I'm just like, please, give me a crumb. Just a crumb of the interaction. And yes, him and Nagoriyuki just both being like, hey, dandyism, right? This vampire shit. How about it? It's so good. Yes, or according to the lore, Nightless. That's the name, right? He's a Nightless. Fuck, man. English VA, killing it. Sounding exactly the way you want him to. You know, Sharon's there. She's doing her thing. She's
great.
A lot of Sharon being shown, which is what you want more
Sharon's
of her.
Great. I love Sharon.
And just like, all right, what's he got? What's going on?
Sharon's responsible for my favorite Guilty Gear ending ever. Where at the end of Eddy in X2, he's like, now I can take over your body. And he touches Sharon and just explodes and dies.
Good luck with that, bro. Yeah, you want a piece of her? Okay. How's that going to work out for you? Oh, fuck. Yeah, bye. Just don't do it. Don't do it. You can't handle it. Only he can. Incredible, right? So she's coming out of the coat. You know, they're tangoing all over your fucking corpse. And then you're like, yeah, what's he about? What's he doing? He's got his fucking dandy step. He's got his mappa. He's got all the big pile bunking you ever wanted. All of that's back and looking great. You know, new shit.
He lives in that archetype of character who is not trying. Who's like overtly taking it easy on you with every strike.
Just lazily enjoying the fight as well he can. But again, a little bit older this time around, right? And then he does his blood-sucking universe, which for Nagoriyuki, that is life and death. He's got to suck your blood to get that shit under control. It's the only way to you know, stop him from dying. And for Slayer, he bites you so that he can fucking universe counter. You know, so blood-sucking universe, you'll see right after he does it, he lands a normal or he lands a special on a non-acting Axel, and it does a big counter, but it's not counter, it says universe, because that's what he gets after blood-sucking universe, is he gets a counter hit state for a couple seconds, and then before he'd get a little bit of a healing buff as well. So that's cool. And then charging up his fucking super pile bunker till the point where he's punching out of his clothes, just naked, you know, whatever the fuck that is. Is like if Grand Blue had Old Man naked on buff, you know, are we going to stay this way or are we going to teleport back into clothes? Dandyism probably dictates that you should teleport back into your clothes. So
probably. I
imagine he's going to just warp at the end of that super back into it. But then the second super, we see him go in for a super bite, which gets in, does a nice big suck, and sucks enough blood for him to become Young Slayer.
For him to become Hildebrand Manderville. A character you don't know, but he looks exactly like.
Okay.
It's fucking weird.
Okay. But you're like, oh, that's the fucker that fought Freddy, like, and had one of the sickest battles of all time during the Crusades. That's the guy that fought Flamet Nagel, who then becomes Paracelsus later. And then they're like, oh, you're pretty fucking good. I'll see you in 100 years. You know,
there's something really smart about his like age decrease move, because everything about Slayer's character ever has been, I'm not trying and you can't even hurt me. Right?
But let's have fun.
His lost pose is him just chilling on the ground going, ha ha ha, right? So he's pulling all of his punches. And then like when you play, you know, he get his instant kill, it's like, oh, well, here's the one punch he's not pulling. Right? But now we've gone past that. Not only is he not going to pull his punch, he's going to become younger to the peak of his life and not pull his punch.
Yeah. You know,
like it's great. It's great.
I mean, look, I like seeing a glimpse of young Cliff back in the day when he de-aged was always super sick, because you're like, oh, that's the fucker that fought 7 days and nights to kill the fucking Hydra. Got it, right? That's the stories were written about this anime character here, and you can totally translate that over to Slayer as well, where you're like, that's the dude that named Soul bad guy. He invented, the fucking napalm death, the big original instant kill that Soul does. Like, yeah, he inspired that move with his giant uppercut version of like special as well. The same thing, it's all in there. So the lore god is here and looking as stylish as ever. And in his strivification, it seems like this de-aging mechanic, maybe it's gonna stick with him after the super. I don't know. But he's also got dandy step into a low, so a nice little mix there as well. I mean, if they build the entire character around, I'm gonna backdash and come back in and fuck you up, great. The rest is in there for fun, but he's got everything he needs, and the feeling of landing a pile bunker is, as someone who doesn't play Slayer, that's
I've dabbled a little bit. It feels good.
That's peak fighting game fucking synapses firing. When you make someone whiff something big and stupid, and you come flying back in with an explosive pile bunker that flattens them against the wall immediately, as it should. Damn, that looks and feels good. So yeah, that's great. All of his flailing things and multi-hitting goofy things are there. Let's see if they find a way to have him write a haiku, maybe as a part of his win pose.
Yeah, that sounds like that would be the place for it.
They're very elaborate animations. I feel like it would be, the time to whip out a little quill and start writing something out. We'll see where they go, but Slayer looks fucking incredible. And yeah, him too marks the end of this season, and then the beginning of the next. So Strive is fucking doing it. It's going great, man. Glad that's coming along as well.
I'm glad that everybody's happy with their character. Like all three games that we've talked about, oh yeah, Akuma and Slayer are Lydia is not Akuma or Slayer, but Lydia's great. I really like Lydia.
Apparently she's I have to watch the trailer again, but they said that her muscles got nerfed. So she's a little less buff. I have to watch it again. I think she's cool, but I don't want to see less muscle. Don't do that. So yeah, I mean, at this rate, I think a perfect next season that would make most people happy, if not everybody, would be Robokai, Jam, something like Gabriel, right, for some fun new shit, and then close it out with Dizzy. Is probably what people would expect. And if not them,
here's where I say the phrase, does anyone even like Jam?
Yeah.
Before I'm spontaneously killed on the spot.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Jam's cool. Jam's always cool. She's honestly the fucking the hand-to-hand or martial art dragon kick shit is cool. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't
like that Chie girl from Persona.
Yes, and as someone who doesn't really play as her at all, watching her fight is awesome. Her martial arts, her being the Bruce Lee of the Guilty Gear world is sick. It's fucking rad watching her do all of her stances and installs into the dragon kick.
Oh no, I don't know if anybody really likes Jam.
And then you can follow up that popularity list with Venom. Certainly is another big choice for.
If they bring back Venom and they don't have a cutscene where him and Eddy kiss, then people are going to be mad.
I mean, he's currently making out with Robokai, so I don't think that time is coming just yet. But it'd be cool as well. I don't see it ever happening, but it'd be cool if I mentioned Dr. Paradigm as another lore background character. That would be nice to see. Or Zappa getting possessed again somehow, even though he's heavily featured in the story.
Yeah, I'll be honest. As somebody who is unlikely to go back to Strive, the only character I want to see is Zappa, because I want to see how far they can push Strive's engine to its limits with random
the
models
ghosts
popping out of each other.
That would be nuts. I know I'm seeing. I know Order Soul is a big thing too, and Order Soul's cool. But I guess it would just have to be a nice old what if fucking, not story related character just in it for the sake of having him in
fuck
it.
Order
Soul I fucking love, and I think he does got a lot of cool shit, but I wouldn't want him over any of the previous ones I mentioned.
Yeah, it was different back in the day when you could just sprite swap that shit to some degree instead of building a whole new fucking model.
I think
Order Soul felt like a bonus.
You'd have to. I think that would be like something to come around the season afterwards or so. But there's still some essentials people want, plus some new characters that should show up. So, good shit on that.
I just saw somebody say pure Gorilla Soul is peak soul, and it made me think of what if there was a fucking character that was just literally a gorilla in Soul's clothes that thought he was Soul bad guy.
I mean, you say that like Baba Mwalimu is not a thing in Street Fighter 6 that's getting pushed for SummerSlam currently.
You know too much about games. Granted, we talked about that too, maybe a month or two ago, so it's relatively recent, but come on.
Hey man, when there was nothing to do and it was a dry test day, I'd be reading through Tiamat's plot guide and reading those Udon comics. It is what it is, There's only so much time you can spend thinking about frame data before you start thinking about...
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, before you go, but why frame data? Like, Genajin is cool, but why is Genajin?
But why Genajin?
What is Genajin? What is happening?
Who is Genajin?
I want to know about the cool, refreshing blast of getting hit with Shohoken or Sakura's Hadoken. So yeah, Evo.
I don't understand how that can even hurt you if it's cool and refreshing.
Yeah, because you still take damage, but you feel their spirit inside of it. So instead of
what is that, like somebody chucking a Baja Blast at your face?
It's because it's like, I guess the idea is just like it's not. It's instead of they're not all fire. They don't all burn you. Sometimes you get
most
a chill.
Don't burn you.
Yeah, like a sonic boom is like an impact. Like for example, it's what it is. It's like how when in X-Men they kind of specify that like when you get hit by Cyclops' concussive blast, it's not like a laser. It's a
punch.
It's a hit. Exactly. It's a force that's like brr. So just yeah. And then we got to see a whole lot more of City of the Wharves.
Thank you.
So, big opening fucking...
Big wharves.
Yeah, but you know what? Big wharves, no more Khushnood. Butt is dead. Marco Rodrigues lives forever.
I still thought it was really strange that his whole name would get changed between regions.
So when they released the Marco Rodrigues trailer for Garros City of the Wolves, the first thing is you go over to the Japanese channel and you see what the fuck the name is. And it's Marco Rodrigues in English and in Japanese. They're like, yeah! Locked in. Khushnood, but no more. And not only that, but a spelling change too, which I think, it first popped up in the in Art of Fighting story in King of Fighters 15. They mentioned him and they spelled his name with an S instead of a Z. So that's a particular thing where it's like, oh, so they're going for Brazilian Portuguese and not like Spanish, So yeah, I guess that's to confirm, that being his name is the Portuguese spelling. But he looks fucking awesome. Doing all the shit that you want to see. and then some big Shoryu into big slam down, and right before he charges all of his specials, the pop art is exploding behind him. Honestly, like, it's just, yeah, he looks fucking great with the big 3D pompadour, and everything is great.
He looked fantastic in 3D.
The only thing about the trailer, I would say, that, like, didn't look fantastic, I guess, is his background seems like some of the characters look a little, like, underdeveloped or a little stiffish or so. But the bear is there. The bear is chilling, so Kyokugen Bear is there, and they both do the fucking... You know, they do the clash with each other in his intro, so I'm glad that Bear's hanging out.
And I really love that fighting games have decided that you could teach bear karate.
Oh yeah.
Like fighting games in general have decided that you could teach bear karate.
But that's because reality has decided you can teach a bear karate. Like there's obviously your the original reference footage of God damn it, I forgot the dude. There's footage of black martial artists going and sparring with a bear that they kind of based that on from way back in the day. And then there's all the Khabib and footage of him wrestling bears as a kid as well. And so there's like the idea of martial artists training with bears is it's just, that's reality. That's a thing. It's fucking crazy, you know? Yeah, there's, I want to say there was like, so like Khabib fighting a bear is like the new era of that, but like there's old shit. There's old video of Marco's inspiration dude plus like Jim Kelly style character running into the forest and messing with a bear for a bit, you know? Crazy. So he looks good. And then they also showed off some footage with the special third secret moves that like were not seen.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we got to see some secret specials from a bunch of the characters that are like alternate level 3s. It seems. One, Terry does a big ass fucking slant punch to the ground and a tornado fucks you up, and it's like, oh, are they going for Lost Power? No, they're going for the other Fatal Fury the movie only move where he does a big tornado thing, you know? So they reference the Obari movies again by getting the other Terry shit in there, which is great. They fixed Buster Wolf.
Oh, they did? Oh, fuck.
So an updated version of Buster Wolf, you see him hit it and it goes like, and like it's the impact is you see it hit differently. And then he can combo afterwards and do shit. And T-Zoc as well does a crazy level 3 air submission thing that slams down into a bridge arc pose. So yeah,
I'm trying to find this footage.
It's
what do I look for?
Yeah, it's in loose cam footage on Twitter. Unfortunately, it wasn't like yeah, people are just kind of recording over the shoulder shit.
Back to the good old days.
Yeah, I want to say there's an Event Hubs link that like has a bunch of it plus some newer stuff.
You know, I'm watching some of it right now.
Okay.
There's a real like specific beauty to bad angled location test fighting game camera footage.
It brings me right back. It really
has
does.
It has a certain appeal where like even though it's LCD screens, because the angle is so shit, it looks curved.
Yeah. I want like I know we saw Akuma's trailer and I know we saw his story mode aspect, but I want some over the shoulder people's heads getting in the way match footage too. Alongside the announcement, officially release some blurry location test footage, you know, of some Japanese players doing some wild shit and everyone going, "Hey! He can do that now?" Yeah, so at least Garo is sticking to the roots. And I
can't believe I'm watching that fire tornado move you described. I can't believe of any fucking move they pulled from one of the movies, it would be that one. That's
They already did
That's
Lost
weird.
Power. They already did Lost Power, so it's time to go pull even further, you know? And again, shout outs to Oda, the producer, who's like, yep, that's exactly what we did. We went right back to the movies. And Obari saw that, retweeted it, and commented that it's like, oh, yo, thank you, Honor, that you guys are shouting out my old Fatal Fury shit. It's cool to see Fatal Fury coming back. And it's like, yes, it is, man. I'm really excited that they're, you know, like, they can just stick to KOF, but I like that they went out and brought back Sam's show and that they're going back and grabbing this now. It's cool that they're doing that. Some of these announcements, though, are kind of wild because we also got to see a bunch of like old MVS style Neo Geo arcade games getting updated versions for EXA, which is like we saw. The first one I think announced was Breaker's Revenge Chicago.
Really?
Which is so weird.
Really?
It's called Breaker's Revenge Chicago.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, and you're like, wait, like O-Block? Like, what are we, like, hold on, what are we doing? Is there a mechanic that involves Lori Lightfoot? What's like, what's happening? And it's like, yeah, Chicago is literally the name of the thing. And I think it's like, it's because there's a word in Japanese that's like, you know, SHI, like Shikagoku or something like that, but it just happens to overlap enough that they just called it fuck it. It's the Chicago version of the game. So now officially Chicago Punishes are real. Because, like, but you know, before now, Chicago Punish would just be what you can go look at the FGC glossary on that. But it is a single hit, unofficial, inefficient, but easy to do punish. And now, yeah, you got that. And then they went on to announce an updated version of Rage of the Dragons. Rage of the Dragons W is getting up. It's getting new modes and some new shit.
Where are these going?
Straight
to modern platforms?
No, straight to EX arcade only platforms that no one will have access to. They're going straight to an arcade release that is not ported. So it actually, it kind of sucks because no one can play these except for, I think, if you live near, like, I think, like, what is it? Galloping Ghost might be getting some.
You know what's great? You know what
or
I really
LA?
like to do, Wooly? You know what I like to do? I like to get a big fucking ice cream cone and go, hey, look at this, and then just mash it into the pavement in front of you. I really like to do that. That feels really good.
It sucks,
and
dude.
yeah, it costs a lot of money to make that ice cream cone, but fuck it.
So yeah, they're enhanced versions of these old games only for EXA arcade systems that are going to be released in Japan and to any arcades that feel like importing it, which America, you might have 2 or 3 that like have some true believers that do it. Yeah,
you know what I saw in fucking Montreal?
Chaos Code, Asuka 120%, Vanguard Princess R, a whole bunch of them are getting updated.
Speaking of not willing to fucking import cabs, I walked by the closed down Amusement 2000 downtown.
Yeah, you did.
I feel like I'm standing there looking at that going, I remember the exact moment that place died, and it was when that guy told me and you separately, oh, that's fucking stupid. I'm not importing a fucking Street Fighter 4 cabinet.
Only to, after the console release, like a year later,
have this jury-rigged piece of shit
with Korean buttons and crown parts on it. Just, yeah.
He ended up spending way more money on that than it would have been to just import a fucking Vuelix.
I mean, it was over it in spirit at that point. Like, it was just go in, spend your money on the crane game that's going to rip you off and call it a day.
Well, because that was the moment that people stopped even bothering to go to an arcade, and the FGC in Montreal started getting its own spaces and running its own events and having setups for themselves.
That started happening while the, City Hall and shit were all like like shutting down the undesirable elements in the neighborhood, except for the movie theaters, which were allowed because if you pay enough money, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So you're not going to tell Cinema Guzzo they can't have arcade machines. You
should tell Cinema Guzzo to go fuck themselves because that theater sucks.
Well, but what? Yeah. But those are the only places that arcades are left. And if you want to go enjoy a Time Crisis machine where the pedal doesn't work, you can go enjoy over there.
Man, there is like a uniquely awful feeling of being like, oh my God, is that a fucking House of the Dead 2 machine? Pull the trigger and it's like, oh, the elastic's just completely broken. This thing is a fucking this is a money trap.
It's kind of really just for the aesthetic of standing around before the movie starts and buying popcorn. It's just to have that in the background. That's all it is. It's barely really for the money. Like they you're really like, it's like you're going to go play some air hockey or some pool and you want some of these fucking Cruisin' USA machines around in the background while you wait for
the whole thing exists so that 2 or 3 guys will be in the background of the movie theater having a good time playing air hockey or some shit, and you'll be like, yeah, going to the movies is a good time. Doesn't matter that it took a fucking 9-hour shift to buy a single popcorn.
Yeah. She means death, Kago, cage. So Chicago is the Death Cage match edition.
Well, is that why they named the city that?
Oh, in retrospect, damn, maybe. Someone said Lightfootsies. That's crazy. Lori Lightfootsies is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right. Yeah, so this is a cool but ultimately fruitless and useless update announcement.
Hey, yo. I'm watching Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact first gameplay trailer here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specific reason that this looks like shit?
Yeah, I mean, it probably doesn't have a huge budget. It looks, you know what it is? So it reminds me a lot of Power Rangers, right? Where there's a look that an inexpensive mid-range budget fighting game will get. And it is a look where everyone snaps back to their idle stance a lot faster than modern games do. Like, I was watching, I was just watching some footage of Nago cleaning up at Evo Japan, and I was just like, I kind of like stopped paying attention to the gameplay for a while, and I was just looking at how beautiful the game looked, and we started seeing and noticing this in like season 3 of Street Fighter V. A lot of I talk about the extra animations, right? Cody will do something and then tighten up his tie or do a little arm thing. And all the extra characters got these little extra flourishes. And so they're always moving, always doing things.
Or, you know, the history of characters that if you just stand there, they'll do a bunch of shit.
Yes, K-Dash with the fucking standing, checking you out, leaning back, going back into the fist up stance, crouching. All right, you don't want to fight? What are we doing? You know, all of that shit, right?
Wait, hold on. Someone in the chat says the bomber is making it in. Do you mean the fucking loser from Greed Island? Because if that character made it in on this roster, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. That character sucks. Oh man, that dude sucks.
So
that roster's gonna be dumb.
So there's about 16 characters. It looks like slots for 16 on the roster. Pretty small, but like that's what the shape of the character select screen looks like. And yeah, Max apparently confirmed the budget was around 600K. So aiding doesn't have a ton to go off of here. But everyone snapping back to their idle stances immediately after their specials is the mark of a lower budget fighting game, right? That being said, in the comparison to Power Rangers is also the awesomeness of a good 3v3 with sauce. Because guess what? There's some assists going. There's some fucking, team shenanigans happening and DHCs, etc. And welcome back X Factor. There's a fucking X Factor that you pop that makes you stronger depending on how many characters are left on your team. So, hey, if the game is fucking good, let's go.
No, listen. Okay, this is like this fucking motherfucker Genthru or Gensuru or whatever his fucking name is. This bomber. Okay, there are 16 characters in this game, right? It's a flat 16. Hunter x Hunter has so many fucking characters that deserve to be in a fighting game, and I see this dude is in, I'm like, that game is going to be bad.
What is it like seeing like Yajirobe or something? Because I mean, I love that.
You know what?
You know
what? Actually, it kind of is.
Because that's my number one pick for fighters.
It's like we didn't have enough time to put fucking Vegeta in, so here's Yajirobe. Like
well, hold on. I mean, clearly, what's his name is right there, right?
There's that show has a lot of Vegetas.
Okay, because the first Vegeta, at the very least, I can see.
I bet you could make a whole 16 cast of Vegetas. Actually,
okay. Well, you know, I guess the question is like, do you go for the? So I think the Dragon Ball approach, right, of like, you know, main warriors and then major arc villains up first is like the healthy selection in many cases. But if you plan on something being a return franchise over time, then the Naruto way is here's everyone from arc 1. So here's the kids, here's the one or two other teams you got to see for a bit, then Kakashi, Zabza, and Haku. Call it a day. First 16 episodes, you know, thrown in. Like that, Ninja Tyson 1 was literally just like the cast of the Haku arc plus like Rock Lee. You know, so I don't know.
I'm hold on. I'm trying to look. There's a fucking villain gang in like the second arc called the Phantom Troop.
Yeah.
That is like, how many fucking characters is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's like 10 of them.
It's all
8? Whatever. Half the roster could be these fucking people.
It's all the people that what's their name has to get revenge on.
Kurapika.
Yeah, Kurapika.
Or Kurapika.
And
the blonde kid that looked like a freak in the Jump game.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, most importantly, is there sauce? The answer appears to be yes. Bless it. Bless it. Let's go. I will never forget, man. Power Rangers was the shit. It was so much fun to play, you know. And people are always down for some Marvel. Everyone's down for some Marvel. If Marvel ain't gonna give us Marvel, we'll get it from Power Rangers. We'll get it from Dragon Ball. We'll get it wherever we can find it. Let's get it from Hunter x Hunter. You know, this is also remembering. There's Woolie's huffing copium. I have no dog in this fight. I don't care.
That my point is that a lot of people would have dogs in this fight, and so the character list is super important. And seeing like a actual wasted spot gives me a lot of like lack of faith.
Okay,
it's got big "Where's Magneto" in Marvel Infinite energy.
Gotcha. Inside voices have told me to keep an eye on this game, and gameplay wise, shit's legit. I've gotten reports on that being super fun.
But do you remember how much shit Max got for going, man, Marvel Infinite is incredible, and people going, where's Wolverine? And him going, no, but it plays incredible. But where's where's Magneto?
Yeah,
just like you can't beat. The whole point of the licensed game is to have the fucking characters you want in it.
Well, I guess let's see who's going to be in that cast of 16 then. I don't know, and nor do I. Like, again, no dog, you know, but they've revealed 5 so far? 4?
Gon, Killua, Netero, Hisoka, Kurapika, and that bomber guy. So
Yeah,
we're at 7 already.
I can understand that, like, some cool characters people want to see not showing up would be a bummer, especially if they're not confirmed to be coming later or if there's no budget or whatever for that. But,
yeah, Hunter x Hunter has a problem.
But just before you scream, where's the one I want? Let's just see the roster.
There are more that I want than can even fit on the remaining slots.
So it will be a disappointment no matter what.
Kind of. 16 is too low. Also, 16 is really low for a 3v3 fighter.
Well, then I guess it's destined to disappoint. Like I don't know. You know.
But 16 is really low for 3v3, right? Like, I'm not crazy.
It is low for 3v3, and it is right on point for $600,000. Do you know what I mean?
They should have got more money.
That sounds about right on point. $600,000 is not going to make Dragon Ball FighterZ.
That's like one Skullgirls character.
It's you know, it's like you're not gonna get that, like, perfect, fully realized, holy fuck, it looks exactly like the animated
I would argue genuinely that the game would be better off looking way shittier
and having
more characters.
I suspect with something like this, and Aiding again knows what the fuck they're doing. They've always known that. I would imagine that, like, the idea would be to start here and then, with some success, build it out, and then
here's hoping
a couple seasons of extras, you know, with a generous season of over 5, you know, joining each time.
I gotta take a quick break.
BRB. So yeah, the last bit I was gonna say is like, for every badass Zoldyck family member or Chimera Ant arc villain that you want to see included on that roster, I'm gonna be over here cheering on the inclusion of someone like Tonpa, who will just be a dedicated character whose job is to make sure that we both lose.
Yeah, Tompa's a good pick.
Right? And especially in a team-based game where you can be like, okay, it's two characters that we have three. One of these is going to take out someone on your team. And Tonpa's...
No, here's the thing, right? Like you're like, oh, haha, weird pick. No, Tompa would be great.
Oh yes, okay. I want him to be like in the way that like the Ginyu kind of weirdo pick that fucks up a character on your team, or Android 16. I have no other options. We're both gonna go. Give me one of those, right? Like he's there to fuck someone on your team up, and he's useless on his own, but he can eliminate somebody and just watch you lose.
It's strange because like I think about like Dragon Ball, right? And Dragon Ball has obviously like a million characters, right? But the standouts are so obvious in a Dragon Ball game that like everybody could put together a list of people that need to be there. And then there's like everyone could put together even like the secondary ring of characters that need to be there. And Hunter x Hunter like goes so fucking fast, and characters like kind of only exist for their own arcs. Okay. That like it's like there's the guys you've seen already. That's the cast. But like each arc, you could make a whole fighting game out of each arc.
Yeah. Which Naruto kind of functions that way as well. As long as we don't waste any slots on secondary versions of characters. Then I think we're in a good state.
Man, that would be fucking awful. Holy shit.
As long as it's not just like it's Super Saiyan Blue, fucking stop.
Hey, you want to play as Fishing Rod Gone or Nen Gone? And you're like, oh my god.
So yeah. You're in a good state otherwise, I imagine. Yeah, that's the new one coming down. And then wait, did we get a release date on that? Nen Impact? No, but there's 13 minutes of footage, so you can go diving through that if you'd like. Well, anyway, that was pretty much all the major announcements. But all of those fighting game announcements, as cool as they were, they pale in comparison to the other accomplishments that were happening this week. I just want to say it's pretty amazing. Congratulations to MapleStory for Niru, who's gonna be getting that world's first level 300
RuneScape. That's crazy.
Level 300 in MapleStory,
whatever.
Don't forget to tune in and celebrate
oh well, for a world first,
Niru's legendary accomplishment, right? Everybody tune in. Official account, get hype, let's go. Wait, what do you mean he's not at level 300?
Oh, he's at 299.99. Okay, well I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it cross over.
What? Wait, why is it not crossing over? What's happening?
Wait, he's just sitting there explaining why the game fucking sucks?
Oh no, he's using this officially sanctioned and celebrated moment as a platform to blow up how shitty and grindy and bad the drop rates are and all the things that are...
I fucking love it. I love it.
Man. And I mean...
Every time this happens...
Yeah, so when we talked about how they got fined for lying about the drop rates before, it's like that's one level of scumbaggery that the game had out there. But now on another level, one of its the biggest player that's gotten the furthest stops during the big moment at 299 0.99 and refuses to level up to 300 and just rails against MapleStory.
I'm madly in love. The people have done this at Madden tournaments. I know there was a Call of Duty tournament this happened at. I know it famously happened with Street Fighter 5.
And it was a dev sponsorship that as well, right? So
but every time somebody gets the it happened with For Honor. I remember that vividly.
Right. I don't even play this game sucks. I don't even play it.
You won the tournament. What do you think? I think this game is trash.
But you see, there's the little that's a hilarious moment every time you get that I don't even play this game lol kind of thing. But he instead went off on a manifesto, where he planned it out to get to that point and then went off. So,
and then left his account forever to be uncompleted.
That's a mic drop. So, I mean, I didn't catch, but was there any kind of cut to technical difficulties screen? I don't think so. Whoa, the cameraman's drunk. What do we do? Was it just?
I think he was streaming it himself, and he was being
hosted, restreamed. I assume,
which means even if you did do that, you could still just go to his fucking stream.
Man, well, you earned it. No,
I love it.
You worked hard. No one's allowed to say you can't do that. You can do whatever you want with your account. Yeah. So that's a new level. That's a new level of spite coming through. And in one of the grindiest games ever, taking it to the furthest level.
Oh, yeah, because each level is an exponential increase over the last one.
So the weirdest part was hearing about how he stopped at 0.01% away. And I'm like, how did he do that so precisely?
Oh, because that was still probably a half hour to go.
Because it's that bad, right? That's the fact that the percentage stops right there and you can control it that much shows you how bad it must be, So, yeah, that's pretty incredible. Shout outs to that and the big official Twitter account with his character being yeah, world's first. 20,000 people caught that shit. All right.
And now we're talking about it. So out it goes.
And while that's happening, hey man, when the devs treat you like shit and are ripping you off, just stop playing the game and switch over to a game that you can trust, like Tarkov.
Yeah. Oh man, this is one of the most feel-good dumb shit stories in a while. Oh my god.
I love how, for me, catching it at the end of it was just reading a paragraph of the twists and turns in the paragraph describing what happened.
Such a bad idea. Helldivers is making fun of them in their goddamn battle pass descriptions.
What did it say?
It was you can buy this armor set for 250 super credits. It's not free for super citizens, and you don't get extra blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. It was directly aping the wording.
So Escape from Tarkov announced its new Unheard edition, which is a special $250 version of the game.
Wow, that's crazy. Bet it's got a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, and they announced a PvE mode that allowed players versus environment, so they could fight against
that's cool.
AI and no other players in the lobby. However, it is only available to people who buy the $250 edition.
That seems insane.
And if anybody bought the Battle Pass or the old Edge of Darkness edition, fuck you. Too bad.
But Wooly, I thought that the $150 version that was on sale before literally had one of its value adds being all future DLC is free.
Promised access to all future. So fuck you. Eat shit. No.
Are you telling me that this PvE mode is not DLC?
So, after lies, people were very upset. And then eventually they came out and said, okay, they made a statement saying that if you did buy the Edge of Darkness expensive mode that was promised all future DLC for free, you would be able to try the new mode. But then you would have to purchase the $250 edition to unlock it permanently.
You give us another 100.
Yeah.
At
least. So the money you've spent allows you to preview the premium $250 content. To which people were surprisingly still upset.
Oh, why? Really? What about the part where the $250 DLC has like a bunch of like game breaking advantages for those players over regular players?
Oh, the pay to win aspect.
Oh yeah,
right.
Very extreme pay to win shit.
Some bonuses that came alongside that as well. Well, hey, if you paid for your Unheard edition, then you're entitled to it, right? That's what you bought.
So did you look into like what those advantages are?
I didn't.
So I don't understand most of them, right? Because I don't play Escape from Tarkov. But I knew that Tarkov is an extraction game, right? It's like, hey, you go in, you permadeath, right? And you can only keep the items that you extract with, right? You manage to escape with. Well, Paul, one of the things that this fucking thing gives you is a bag you can put items into that stay with your character even if you die. Thus
giving you an insanely huge advantage over everyone else.
Deleting the fucking whole concept of losing your shit.
It's pretty good. So people were upset. And then continued to be upset, and then they went okay, and then they eventually updated recently to say that actually, no, now you can get it. So even if you have the Edge of Darkness edition, you will be able to play. However, you won't get it until it hits 1.0.
Oh.
Okay. So. It seems that there is still some discrepancy, but there you go. Right? Because, I mean, what are you going to do? Take away the reason for people to spend $250?
There's no win on this for anyone. Literally anyone.
I mean, you could not make an edition that costs $250. Like
now, hey, I saw people saying, wow, this seems like a false advertising lawsuit. Okay, go and have fun suing a commercial Russian entity. Have fun with that, dumb shits.
Good luck.
Why don't you tell China to stop copyright infringing your OCs while you're at it?
Yeah. So, that's fucking insane. And the thing that is the only thing more embarrassing than we tried a fast one and then relented is we tried a fast one and then we backed up halfway and then we backed up a little bit more and then you really keep pushing us because we did like, oh no, let me fuck you over a little bit. Come on, let me get something out of this.
Oh hey, I'm mistaken. Apparently the team that we're talking about is based in the United Kingdom. They pretend to have laws. You could try and sue them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought, okay, well, all right. Good stuff. Yeah, a lot of people saying they're done with the game, and well, whatever.
Yeah, that would kill it for me. That would be.
I mean, if there are direct analogs that can be picked up and played, then
get ready for marathon. Here we go.
Yeah,
I bet that's gonna be good.
Although again, as an outsider, I have to look over and question. I'm like, is this what's happening with this genre? Are like
so I'm
multi-$100
right
extraction things?
I'm gonna stop you right now. Tarkov does not have enough games that are like it to even be considered a genre yet.
Okay.
Like, games are being made to ape Tarkov right now.
Right.
But it's just Tarkov.
It's just
right now.
Okay. So they're salting the earth as they plant in at the same time.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good.
Oh man. So you didn't I mentioned this before we started, and I was like, Wooly, did you hear about that new Asmodee shit?
No, so what's going on?
Okay, so this is great. I'm gonna send you this article. This is wild. Cause remember last week when Embracer Group turned into 3 fucking different companies?
Yeah,
it was like Asmodee and Middle Earth and Friends and all that shit.
They got hit like Garnet, yeah.
Yeah. So where's here we go. I'm gonna send you this article and you can probably just read it yourself.
Embracer saddles Asmodee with a 900 million pound debt. Cuts it loose.
So basically, when they split the 3 companies, they decided to just give one of those companies all of their debts.
You saddled up the donkey. You you blindfolded him and put him on the the donkey and just slapped its ass and ran it out of town.
So
oh my god.
So like Asmodee is
wow.
This is the final layoff. They made an entire division of their company to die.
The sacrificial lamb. Oh my god, you split into 3 and then you picked one. And you cut and bled all the sins onto the cursed one. And it was never meant to be.
So like, yeah, Incredible. They bought this company, ran their real company into the dirt, then dumped all the poison into this, split it off, and said, I guess that's your problem now.
You know what, man? We're turning it around. Like, now I'm starting to respect it. Like, now like this whole level of dancing, failing with the Saudi deal, buying out video games, and then fucking it all over, a million layoffs, it's all going to shit. Hold on, we can split it all up. Hold on, it's not so bad. Oh god, okay, and then putting it all on one and just letting that one die and going, we have nothing to do with that. I've never seen that man before in my life. That's kind of incredible.
that company
wow.
was actually a secret mass layoff.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay, no, everyone's keeping your jobs. Everyone's keeping their jobs. You
just have to make 4 times the entire company's yearly income.
You're just going into 3 different rooms. You know, like everyone's your jobs are in there now. And one of those rooms is just a fucking pit. Like,
so this has likely killed like dozens of board games, including Catan.
Incredible. Well, I mean, I anytime there's a license that's worth something, and then someone that was an original holder of that license, there's always the possibility of like the buyout, the buyback, you know, at some point, as things burn and crash and explode. Maybe you can get your beloved property and dive out of a window, you know, before the whole thing comes tumbling down.
So they bought Asmodee in March of 2022. And in April of 2020, so 2 years later, they just split it off to eat all of their debts.
Amazing. I didn't know that was possible.
This feels like having kids to split your like family debt. but you somehow gave it all to one child.
Yeah, no, you just you put the bait. You put the bait on one, and just again you run that way and we'll run this way. And then just, oh man. Okay, well that's a fun update. That's good to see that's working out. 900 million pounds.
So I saw that and I saw 900 million. I'm like, that's pretty bad. And then I saw that it was fucking pounds. What is that, like 1.4 American dollars?
Do the opposite of the yen conversion in your brain.
It's over $1 billion.
It's insane.
American.
It's insane. It's insane. It's got like finding new ways to destroy video games with every step of this story. It's incredible. That's amazing. So they're pulling down board games with it, and whatever the and friends
and board games.
Yeah, just
1.5 billion Canadian. 1.13 billion USD.
9.58 million.
Paid off by February of next year. By the way, that's when that's due. Paid off in fucking 10 months.
Every press release from Embracer Group is like a new arc. like a new arc begins and ends with every one of these. Jesus fucking Christ, what a goddamn
just start polishing your resumes.
Piece of shit mess.
Start fucking just look for a new job immediately. Everyone.
Yeah, I'm looking for a list of what else besides Catan is in there, but it's like, yeah, this isn't.
They apparently handle international distribution of like most board games.
Oh, okay, Wargamer, Retro Warhammer, some other shit. Okay, all right, good stuff, guys.
I still think the darkest thing about this whole thing is that it's called Embracer Group. Like the idea of the like. It's like a poisonous embrace.
Get in.
Like
embrace.
It's a death. Yeah, come on.
The deathbed companions embrace. That's fine. That's great.
This whole thing reminds me of like that era where it was like, hey, don't sell your company to Microsoft. Just don't. Because they'll tell you to make a game and then fire all of you before you get halfway done.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Speaking of Microsoft, we can turn to, just like what are so? Hey, look, that sucks. There's got to be some new shit coming out. What's going on at BlizzCon this year? Let's.
I don't know actually. What is going on at BlizzCon this year? What is going on at BlizzCon?
Nothing. It is
this year.
It is canceled.
Oh fuck.
Apparently not.
Why even buy the fucking company? I don't understand.
Apparently, not a Microsoft decision was the first thing they said. So
that's nonsense. When a company gets bought and is subsumed into the larger whole, even if no one from Microsoft corporate said, hey man, cancel BlizzCon, the pressure to perform in certain ways trickles down onto the people running Blizzard now that leads to these decisions.
Yeah, there's always I am definitely always in favor of like, if you got nothing to show, then don't force anything. If they said they got nothing this year that makes sense, they're gonna wait till next year and line it up and so on.
That is, for almost any other game developer, I would say, oh, that makes sense. We are talking about Blizzard Entertainment, long made fun of as the company with the longest development times of any Western studio, where they would go year after year after year of, yeah, we're still working on it.
It's just,
and they would have BlizzCon.
I mean, I guess to be fair, when I first heard the story, I assumed that the reason why it was canceled is because they fired the organizers but forgot to tell anybody. So when the time
that might be it.
when the time came around,
There might not be
like,
anybody left to run BlizzCon.
Wait, where's the con? Is it not happening? Who was on the? Oh no. Yeah. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Hey, you see these fucking Japanese reviews for Godzilla versus Kong?
I have not.
Good times. So
Let's see what we got.
Godzilla versus Kong is out in Japan.
Oh man! I like this.
Yeah. So we got some translations of people in Japan's reactions to it. Woo! Godzilla x Kong is a movie that seems like it was made by some idiots drinking and getting excited late at night, and I was laughing the whole time. It's the best, the best, the best. Everybody's stupid. I watched Godzilla vs. Kong 2. It was a silly movie made by an idiot, and it was very good. I
love this.
I
love this.
I saw Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire, and it was so crazy. About half of the story is in a language other than human, so it tests your imagination. It's about 5 times dumber than I thought it would be, and I was forced to cheer up. Thank you. It's not like I'm crazy.
This is great.
And then my favorite one. The Reiwa Toho Champion Festival. My IQ, which had risen with -1, has plummeted. This is what a festival movie should be like. Punch, punch, punch with Godzilla and Kong.
This is great. This is great. I love this.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love.
It's always been one of those fun little things of like, what do people from different parts of the world think about whatever? And it's always eye-opening and usually pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I like seeing. Yes, Kusoge cinema that's the right attitude, you know, or seeing what different parts of the world, you know, what kind of graffiti gets sprayed on the walls, you know, what's going on.
Good graffiti.
Yeah. What kind of shop should we go to in Stellar?
Well, we should go to the R shop.
Well, what kind of shop? Because Stellar Blade has a couple of those. I mean, like, this just feels like kismet, really. There's a screenshot that made the rounds, and something regularly that occurs in Stellar Blade is there's the R shop, which you know, you can go to, and I guess it's where you buy shit.
It's where you buy R's.
But regularly, there's also another piece of graffiti that pops up very often, and it just says hard. It
says hard.
So there's a nice little corner where there is the hard
R shop. I forget who it was. I think it might have been Lance McDonald was playing it and was like, "How long until this gets patched out?" And the answer was a single day.
Immediately. and they explained, they're like, "Yeah, we didn't know
that was that doesn't."
Two separate assets right next to each other.
They're out in Korea, right?
Yeah.
Like,
why would that land? There's no reason to think that's a thing. So yeah, that's great. Big fan.
You see that? Petition? You see the petition?
It's not about the petition, though, is it?
Yeah, no, isn't it?
It's about the videos attached to the petition.
Listen. Listen, I'm not going to sit down and listen to this discrimination against gooners with aphantasia. Okay? They can't just make a picture in their mind. It is of dire importance that they actually see everything they need to see to goon.
Is that what it's called? Aphantasia? Where you
Aphantasia is when you cannot make a picture in your mind.
Okay.
This is a disability.
There's just these sobering moments. I've talked to you about this many times in the past, where you kind of just like, you wonder when you see internet happening and it takes you aback and you go, really? That doesn't line up with the reality that I know. And then you kind of just you take a look at the videos and you get the self-report that you click play and you go, oh, and then you understand in a way that you didn't understand before. And then you watch a Mega 64 video about DOA Extreme not coming out in the West.
So,
and it all just comes together, you know?
There's a really specific phenomenon that can happen to you in your life in which you encounter people who disagree with you or who seem to hold an opinion that you would find to be ridiculous. And because everyone's a little judgmental and nobody's perfect, you think up an image of the kind of person that you would expect to hold this view. And then you go, that's not fair. That's probably not what they look and sound like. And here you're given the opportunity to move that mouse and go, wow, I fucking nailed it.
Oh my God.
I fucking nailed it.
Oh
wow,
my God.
That is somehow exactly what I thought I was going to see.
The problem with the internet is you read words and you hear them in your own voice. You know, you read text and it echoes back to you in your own voice, and not what happens when you click the play button. So yeah, that checks out pretty.
Like sometimes you read a post and you're like, I bet this motherfucker's wearing a cowboy hat. Sometimes you read a post and you're like, I bet I could scroll for 45 seconds and see a picture of a GameCube controller on their timeline.
Yeah.
And other times you're like, I bet this guy's mom is yelling at him to go to the fucking bathroom.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I gotta write the government about these vagina bones.
Anyway, man, you know me. I'm a fan of clarifying information. You know, I'm a fan of.
You're a fan of perfect information.
Perfect information. I love Into the Breach. I love Into the Breach. I love knowing exactly what's up. You know, I love knowing that. Like I love knowing that we can do-si-do and dance around and spin your partner to the music all day, but you know, when that JRPG has box art and there's two JRPG characters standing on it, and then there's a black girl, and that black girl you just draw a big red circle on it because of how mad you are at the existence of the person just existing. I love knowing that that's where we are, because if that's where the discourse is, I don't have to guess. I don't have to figure anything out. I just know where you are, and it's amazing to know where you are. It feels great.
I needed to sit down and get a good look at what it looks like for someone to have dodged the infection of the woke mind virus, free of its taint.
It's Foxdei.
And let me tell you, the effects are dramatic.
it's Foxdei, man. I'm telling you. The existence of black anywhere in a JRPG is just, it's so pure. Yeah. So that's great.
There's something really wild to me of like seeing that petition come up with videos, and there were so many. And I saw like people going like, this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite.
Foxdei.
Oh, that's good. Oh man.
Ah. Oh, I knew there's a reason I woke up today.
Hey, if you if you are the kind of person that cares a lot about a topic that people react to with derision and mockery, I'm going to advise you to literally never show your face or voice ever. Just don't.
I disagree. You can hear what he's saying, and fuck that. I say you get on the 4K camera with the crispiest, most detailed audio, and you upload that shit to the world. You let us know exactly how you're feeling. Multiple angles, if you can. In fact, get a full room shot, establishing shot. Let's see the apartment. Let's see everything. Let's establish who you are, what's going on, interior shot. Get right to it. Talk to the lens. Let us know how you feel directly. We need more information. We need to hear you and your voice.
Something really magical happened where I watched 4 of these petition videos, and I felt that was a fair amount, and they all appeared to be like the same person. like evolutions of a Pokemon. And I'm like, oh, okay, so there's no point in me watching more of these.
You get it.
Wow,
you get
this is fucking crazy.
You get it. Yeah. There's a couple of variants, but for the most part, that's the energy is understood. So,
you know what we didn't even talk about? What's the petition for, Wooly?
Stellar Blades getting censored, so you gotta
one of the costumes has like a thigh, like the thigh goes a little lower
so you got to get your voice out there and let us know what's going on, and again, just get the camera, just get it right there again if possible.
Oh my God! There's like 6 minutes ago, 26 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, man, it's important.
Yeah, hey, bro, don't hold your fucking waifu pillow in the fucking
no. But how? We'll never know how much of a fan you are if you don't. So, quite frankly, fuck no. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him,
dude. It looks like all of these guys are in the same house.
With your chest. Say it with your chest. Full-throated. Let's go. Let me hear it. And send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. I'll read it. I'll find out. I want to know. We need to know.
Well, if we had this conversation 15, 20 years ago, I would never have possibly assumed that I would be the angel on people's shoulder. And you would be the devil.
I mean,
I would have always figured that it would have gone the other way around, but I guess time is silly.
It sounds like someone's pro-censorship, and they want to censor people's truths. Sounds like you want people to censor their opinions instead of letting the world know.
I'm just trying to protect people from embarrassment. Also, I don't want to see them.
Okay,
like I laugh, but then there's a part in my chest that goes, ugh.
The truth has been censored long enough. We need them to reveal everything about how they feel to the world.
I don't think that's true.
If you've got a letter, you can send it.
That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com.
All right. We got one coming in from Years in Nerddom from Rich. Says, Dear Evil Wooly and Violent Pat.
Yo, I like that.
I feel like you must have received this question before, but I can't remember, so fuck it. With Akuma becoming a mentor in Street Fighter 6, what Street Fighter characters would you most want to learn from, and which would you most like to have as a friend for just hanging out or the text interactions? Shoutouts, by the way, to that fan art where Akuma pulls out his phone and the only contact in it is Elena. That's fucking great.
Hey!
Because they're friends.
Are they?
In her ending in Street Fighter 4, she makes friends with everybody, and there's her hanging out with Akuma, giving him a hug on his back, and he's like,
right, that's true, yeah.
And she's
Elena's
like,
friends with everybody.
Yeah, and Akuma's legitimately taking the hug, like, okay, I guess. Legit, the only contact on his phone. So, personally, I feel like Rose would be a solid mentor all around, relatively strong, has an interesting fighting style with IRL applications, and she'd probably be gentle with you. For friends, DJ or Elena, they have great vibes. One's rich and the other one I'd shoot my shot with. Either way, choose your fighter. Yeah, who'd be a good mentor?
Okay, so wait, are they a fighting mentor or just a mentor?
I think the idea is kind of like who checks the right boxes for like they're going to teach you some cool shit and they'll be good at teaching you some cool shit while being chill. Because there's a lot of badasses in Street Fighter that would watch you die attempting and be like, oh, whoops, oops, you tiger uppercutted off the bridge, sorry. Like,
oh, okay. JP.
Oh,
free powers right off the bat.
Free power, okay.
Just it's psycho power, great, bye.
But
I'm out.
But then there's the part where you lose your mind and start freaking the fuck out if you can't handle it.
I can handle it.
Interestingly,
Rosh is a bitch. I am built different than Rosh.
Built different. There you go. Interestingly, so you see Geef when he starts teaching you, and he's throwing fucking dumbbells behind him without looking like a madman, and it's like someone's gonna get killed. He's also like,
they're tough, man.
Overstraining, having you lift these insane things that are just gonna like murder your body. Like it's crazy. Yeah, I feel like like Luke turned into a great teacher.
I would actually want to just hang out with Luke because Alex Lee seems really nice.
Yeah, they legit turned him into the guy, like a friendly, chill, dude who can teach you some shit and knows how to fight. Because Ryu is an awful teacher. He's barely paying attention to your existence. He's kind of just, it's like
Ryu's terrible. He's awful.
It's the same issue that Musashi has trying to teach you, where you're like, you're so strong, teach me, and he's like, I don't fucking know.
Hey Ryu, whatever happened to your old student Sakura? How's she doing? I don't know.
Go swing your sword. Oh wait, I forgot. Do it as if you had no arms. Bye. What? Yeah, man. No. So Luke is chill, and he's at an MMA gym, and he's showing you the ropes, and he gives a fuck. Legit, I think that's probably solid. Again, don't trust Ken. Look at Sean.
You know what? Just don't even talk to Ken.
Sean had all the potential of his big sister to learn from and everything, and Ken just fucked him up.
Yeah, lightning shit, you don't need that. You need to throw the shittiest fireball known to man.
Jamie's cool too, but he's gonna get you fucked up and probably arrested because he, it's family herb, is what he says until the cop smells it and makes you pour it out.
I don't want to hang out with Jamie. I don't want to hang out with Jamie at all. Because like the whole time he'll be just drinking and being like, dude, take your shirt off. And he's going to be like, no. I'm like, well, I don't want to be here then.
Let me show you how to get the guy liner on straight. Hey, Jamie's cool when you hang with him. I
don't think you understand what I'm telling you, but that's fine.
Have a few more. Pat, in his world, we're all feeling it.
Yeah.
Marissa's gonna throw a lion at you, or vice versa.
Yeah, no, you would just die.
So
you would just die hanging out with Marissa.
And that's the problem with, I think, probably like 70% of the cast is.
Yeah, it's like being like a regular human being on the set of Jackass.
Right? You would just die, and they would be like, "Oh, whoops, shit! I thought you could handle it," and they while not paying attention, or they'd be like the worst, and you don't want to learn from them. You know, you get Dan Hibiki'd. Yeah.
I just see like Sagat teaching someone how to do a move, and you're like, Sagat, I can't do that fucking move. I'm not 8 feet tall. And he's like, you can do it. I'm like, Sagat, my legs aren't 3.5 fucking feet long, Sagat.
Pick the tree up and kick it. What's the problem? Follow the instructions. What are we doing here? Yeah. No, that's exactly it. So they nailed it. We got one coming in. Matthew from Australia. Hello, Pooley and Watt. Due to the popularity of the show, I started playing Fallout New Vegas. Despite being cobbled together from the skeleton of Fallout 3 over an extremely short 18-month dev cycle, it manages to improve on its predecessor in almost every way.
Stability.
What's your favorite asset flip games where the dev takes an existing engine, assets, or framework and use that to create a great game in a short amount of time?
That is a great question.
The ultimate answer to this, to me, is Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Majora's Mask is peak asset flip fucking game.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are saying Yakuza, but those are all direct sequels. It's a little different, made by the same people. I see some people saying Elden Ring, which is actually more true than Yakuza. Like, the more Elden Ring you play, the more you're like, oh man, a lot of these characters are just like animation rigs stolen for shit.
So
I want to say New Vegas is my personal favorite. Like
so Persona 4 is coming up there, but like, I mean, having played them, I feel like, you know, Inaba is a fairly unique location.
Oh, absolutely.
Compared to, you know, P3, and like the actual personas are reused, but Tartarus is not the TV world, and like I you know, I wouldn't necessarily, like, I don't think that's enough for it to, just because the Pokemon are there, but there's enough news going on outside of that. I wouldn't call it there, you know, 100% a flip there.
Yeah, I'd probably say New Vegas. It's the same guts, and it's just much better than 3. Though, to be clear, before we walk away from this statement, I think Fallout 3 is pretty good. I just don't think it's as good as New Vegas. Because every time you mention anything about one of the other ones, people start to lose their fucking minds.
Okay.
Fallout 3 has good stuff in it.
Oh, P3 and 4 being flips of Nocturne.
I can't think of anything better than
how accurate is that?
Not really. I don't see it.
I mean, yeah, I guess I couldn't say, but
by the way, the Fallout show is it might have the best return on show to game ever.
Okay.
We didn't cover it this week, but the fucking Nexus went down this past week.
Popularity?
Because people are installing so many Fallout 4 mods.
Incredible. Okay.
And it's like the Fallout show is so aggressively hyper faithful that it just feels like a direct in.
People are coming
because a bunch of people who don't play video games get to go, I love Fallout. I guess I love Fallout.
Cool. Marvel 2. Happy accident. That thing is just cobbled together on fucking string and existing assets, but it in the chaos came something beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and one more here.
Neo Geo Battle Coliseum.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Hey,
no, that game
man.
sucks. I hate that game.
There are things to love. if there are things to love.
Is Fallout 76 good now? Is this where we're at? Is this what people are going to try and tell me?
Playable Metal Slug characters in KOF style.
Oh, did we cover what happened to Fallout New London?
No, but
so Fallout London is a big ass super mod, like full total conversion, like brand new complete game, right? It got some attention because they put out this massive video showing off how big it is. It'd be about the size of Fallout 4. It was going to have a bunch of voice actors in it that you would know, like Neil Astarian Newbon signed on to play a character in it.
That's his name,
etc. And then right before it came out, Bethesda was like, we're going to put out the next gen update for Fallout 4, make it next gen.
15 gigs.
And that shit doesn't do anything other than break mod support.
And all modded saves.
So what happens is that now the Fallout London devs have to wait for the script extender to get updated. So it is delayed indefinitely until the people who make Fallout 4 script extender update their mod.
And this is where I raise an eyebrow, I guess, and I ask, is there some kind of like unappreciated element of Fallout and its heavy modding being a part of that game's like community that is unofficially like that they officially don't like?
No. Bethesda loves mods.
Yeah, so because the idea of this update coming out that doesn't change much, but then sabotages and fucks up.
It improved the console versions somewhat, but broke every mod on PC.
Okay. So
like every single one.
But this being a deliberate fuck the mod over update is not.
So it must have been in dev for a while, but they're like, whatever, they'll just update it. What? I don't know.
It's
Bethesda
it's not sabotage then.
No, it's not sabotage. It's they enjoy a massive amount of free labor from their community, and they don't care. They just assume that free labor will continue.
I mean,
and also fuck the game up on Steam Deck. Hilarious.
I mean, if it can happen, like fans will mod a game into its best state.
So it was probably
KOTOR
supposed
2,
to.
Devil May Cry.
It was probably supposed to tie in with the show, right? So they can go, hey, the show is out, but also new and improved Fallout 4. But the fact that it broke the thing that people actually gave a shit about is
okay, cash in on the show, but everyone is getting all the mods ready to get while they watch the show, and yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I love it when I look into the chat and I see Pat's knowledge on this is so out of date, and then scroll down like 2 lines. Pat is also 100% correct. I'm like, I don't know. Argue amongst yourselves. I'll just slap each other's dicks in there. I don't give a shit anymore.
I mentioned this before, but like when the Mass Effect mod stuff was being installed for the LP, I was really impressed with how like organized and like established all of that was, with the launcher that it could check the Nexus mods, see what was new, what was updated.
So let me tell you something.
It was incredible.
You know what fucking rules for mods? A game coming out and being beloved and like running kind of modern, and then never getting an update ever again. That is the best thing that can happen to it.
Because everyone knows and can keep it in a state that will
like Legendary Edition for Mass Effect came out, and like the people ported the mods from like 2 and 3 on forward, right? And made legendary versions of those Mass Effect mods. And then I don't think that fucking game has ever gotten patched. So great. They'll just work.
Yeah, I mean, if they officially support it, of course, and whatnot, then that's cool. But rolling forward something that just destroys 10 years plus of of a community is kind of fucking insane.
And it's like, and it's a weird thing because like most mods use the script extender, which basically allows you to do more complex stuff. So almost all of them depend on the script extender. So all the person who's behind the script extender has to do is fix it, and everything will go back to working.
And the impression I get is that every single Bethesda release, it goes hand in hand with a giant, robust, insane mod community.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just...
Except for Starfield. Starfield didn't get one. There is a modding community for Starfield, but a lot of them gave up because they didn't feel that the bones of the game were worth it to build onto.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
I played 70 hours of Starfield. I cannot remember anything.
Where the fuck was I? Oh, yes. Okay. So yeah, there was one last one that was here from Professor Sups. Says a report about the return of arcades. Dear Pat and Wooly, I recently had the opportunity to talk to a team creating a new arcade game. Throwback, High Heroes was pretty much what it sounds like. Yeah, I actually saw this game, and I talked to the devs about it too. A new arcade game threw me off because arcades seemed to be slowly dying off in the aughts. According to the team, arcades are due for a comeback, if a slow one. So basically, this is so High is a game that is played in is it Seattle is where it's popular? I think that was the right state. There was a state where it's popular, and it's basically where you throw a ball. It's almost like racquetball, but you have like a different kind of like thing that you hook the ball and throw it off with, and it's kind of like squash as well. And Florida, right? Okay, so and then it goes really high speeds and it's crazy, and everyone that plays it is like, yeah, kind of wild and nuts. But they're making this new game, and it's pretty fun, and they're releasing it straight to arcades and as a specific arcade release, and that's what it is. It's not necessarily for port to consoles or anything like that, or Steam. Yeah, basically they in asking them a lot of the questions that came up in this email, that I was kind of like, yeah, so what's up with that? Why is this your plan? And it basically seems that like barcades in certain areas are steady business and popular enough that it can be worth it with limited release to make arcade machines like Killer Queen, and you can grab a drink, play some DDR, etc., and go play with your friends. And like if the places will keep the machines operating and up to date, then they'll always that'll be popular enough. Machines can also the machines can also be more affordable these days as well. Rising costs of console gaming has gone up, and machines, especially ones that I guess that can run a game that looks as simple as this and it's not that complex in terms of the computer inside, can be bought by like a barcade or so, or other cheaper places around the world, and space as well if you have anyway, it kind of goes on long, but the idea is
I get it. Like
arcades there's a space
way.
There's a cost-effective way and a space for arcades to continue existing, and this game releasing this way is like they kind of believe in this as a possible thing. Though it is worth noting that like after asking them about the same stuff, they kind of were, I was like, okay, but like there's always the possibility of porting it in the future, and they're like, yeah, of course, so releasing something again, Killer Queen was very popular as a cabinet that existed for a while, and then they eventually years later made the Switch edition that they ported and like had a version of it drop so that like it could be accessed elsewhere and stuff. So
there's something strange to me about thinking about a game or an arcade game as like a boutique piece of furniture for a bar.
I mean, it's cool when you have
oh, we made this fancy table, it's hand carved for your bar, but instead it's like a video game.
And a lot of people are doing that. There's the arcade one-ups that people can buy from Walmarts now, and then every fucking month there's someone's uncle buys 10 of them and thinks they're going to open up an arcade at the mall and then gets fucking shut down.
Do you fucking love losing money? Start an arcade.
But every time it's no, but barcade wise, that's a business that certain states are able to survive, and those are getting popular. Obviously not here and not in places where they stomp on that shit. But if you are if depending on what state you're in or what country you're in, if barcades are a thing that like are thriving and exist, then you can actually sell an arcade operator or a barcade a machine that's going to be cheaper than it was back in the day. Because back you'd have to spend close to $1,000 on a big expensive machine, and it would have to make it back its returns in fairly quick enough time before something new came out that was worth it instead. And so, you know what I mean? Whereas here, people want retro games, so the novelty can last longer. You can keep something that looks retro in that place as long as you want to, versus when Second Impact was released between New Generation and Third Strike, and it had a couple months time to make back all that money for the space it's taking up next to the fucking bowling,
when we were kids, our parents didn't want us to go to arcades. Why? Because there were drugs there. Don't want the kids to get addicted to drugs because everyone at the arcades is selling drugs. But now I can go buy drugs at the store.
True.
So I'm thinking what we should do is have places you can go get addicted to drugs and put arcade machines in there.
That's crazy.
Oh shit, that's just a barcade.
That's nuts. You can't. What? Putting... No.
But like more drugs.
No. That's crazy. Your drugs is bad. Keep them away from the kids.
Like instead of like,
now let's get fucked up and play some video games.
Instead of like the pedal doesn't work at the movie theater for Time Crisis, you could be like, the pedal doesn't work at the heroin den. Time Crisis.
Opium dens would probably have not been so frowned upon if DDR was happening in the background.
Nobody high on opium wants to play DDR. People high on cocaine want to play DDR.
I mean, you got your bases covered. You have DDR, and then you can have some I don't know.
Just get a new fucking thing of winners must use drugs.
Winners must use drugs, exactly. And just have super slow paced, nice and easy DDR. It's just, you take your time and you roll through it. It's good. Yeah. William Sessions.
Where's Cozy Games at the shisha bar?
William Sessions is doing a rail right now. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.